Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some Tuesday afternoon baseball. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Toronto Blue Jays. First pitch will be here in about 7 to 10 minutes. Let's cue up some music, check out the thumb, and get into the starting lineups. All right, here we go, baby. And on the thumb, I got to hit you with George Kirby on the left, and on the right, the Blue Jays, Bo Bichette. Let's get into the starting lineups first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners, playing shortstop for Seattle, J.P. Crawford. Try dance up. Let's go. Batting second, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We need you, baby. Batting third, playing second base for Seattle, Jorge Polanco. Batting cleanup and batting fourth, playing first base for the Mariners, Ty France. And I like seeing France in the four-hole. I honestly believe that we should move Crawford, J-Rod, and Polanco out of the 1-2-3 hole because obviously they're not hitting right now. And I like that, Ty went down in the order, but has been one of the hottest on the team besides Josh Rojas. So hopefully Scott Service pays attention so he can mix up the lineup to give us a better chance to win on the daily. But Ty on the four-hole, I like it. Batting fifth, right fielder, Mitch Haniger. Batting sixth, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Batting seventh, catcher for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting eighth, playing left field for the Mariners, Dominic Canzone. And batting ninth, playing third base for Seattle, Josh Rojas. And on the mound for the Mariners, George Kirby. Let's go, baby. 1-1 with a 5.23 ERA. We need 10 Ks tonight, and we need 5 runs and 7 to 10 hits. We're not going to stand any chance against the Toronto Blue Jays. Make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health and you're doing the right things every day to win the day. Let's get into the home Toronto Blue Jays. Leading off for Toronto, right fielder, George Springer. Batting second, playing first base for the Blue Jays, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Batting third, playing shortstop for Toronto, Bo Bichette. Batting cleanup and batting fourth, DHing for the Blue Jays, Justin Turner. Batting fifth, playing left field for the Blue Jays, Davis Schneider. I like the handlebar mustache and those glasses. I see you with the goggles, my guy. Batting sixth, playing second base, Ivan Biggio. Batting seventh, catching for Toronto, Alejandro Kirk. Batting eighth, playing third base, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And batting ninth, playing center field tonight, Dalton Varsho. And on the mound for Toronto, 0-2 with an ERA of 7.71, Chris Bassitt. We're finally going against a pitcher that's got a worse ERA and record than us. So we got to find a way for George Kirby to be effective tonight. Let's go. And when you look at the Mariner lineup, J.P. Crawford batting 140, Julio Rodriguez 186, Jorge Polanco 175. None of the first three hitters are even hitting over not only 300, they're not even hitting over 200. So at this point, if Ty France is number one and he's finally in the 4-hole at a 379 batting average, that's where, I feel that's a good spot for him, right? But if Josh Rojas, right, and he's our 9-hole hitter, and he's our second best hitter, but he's been our best hitter, but besides Ty France, pretty much the whole year, has even bat over 400 at one point in the season with a 333 average. Why not have Josh Rojas lead off? You could have Rojas lead off, J.P. Crawford in the 2-hole, Julio in the 3-hole, Ty France in the 4-hole, and put Jorge in the 5-hole. You can always move this lineup around. We don't have to have J.P. Crawford, Julio, and Polanco in the 1, 2, 3. I actually feel if JP gets closer to Cal Raleigh in the lineup, not only will it help JP, but I think it's going to also help out Cal and the bottom half of the lineup. The Mitches, they can stay together. If that's 4 and 5, 5 and 6, 6 and 7, so be it. But Crawford and Polanco and Julio need to be moved around in the lineup. Julio can bat first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Is there a rule, set in the sand where, if you're a superstar player, you can't bat anywhere besides 1, 2, 3, or 4, or possibly 5? If it takes, a little bit of movement in the lineup for us to start winning, who gives a shit if Julio's even in the 6-hole? It doesn't mean that he's the 6th best player, but again, we need to find guys that can hit together. And, you can find guys that can feed off each other. And, at the beginning of the first 11 games, it's not working at the leadoff. If you want to put Julio at the leadoff like you did in his rookie year in 2022, fuck it, do it, right? Polanco's terrible in the 3-hole. We just moved up France to the 4-hole. Typically had Haniger in the 4 and Mitch in the 5. So maybe slide down JP from the 1 to maybe like a 6-hole next to Cal. Maybe put Josh Rojas in the 9-hole, have him lead off the game. We need to make sure we're finding ways to manufacture better lineups, and it doesn't make sense. Yeah, going into the season, was Josh Rojas, potentially our weakest link? A lot of us thought that. But if he ends up having the highest batting average, besides Ty France, why do we continue to leave him in the 9-hole? Move the lineup around. We're not trying to be disrespectful to JP as a normal leadoff hitter or Julio. We're not trying to disrespect you in the 2 or 3 or 4-hole, but it's just not working. And hopefully Scott Service will make the adjustments, but he did make one that I do enjoy. Ty France in the 4-hole after getting his batting average up, 350 plus. I like it. And here we go. First pitch to J.P. Crawford outside, 1-0 count. Let's go, baby. Daniel in the building, what's good? Odin in the building, what's good, brother? Yeah, I love it, man. And I saw we had some potential pretty good matches coming up for later on in the upcoming weeks on Raw, as well as maybe potential matchups at the next pay-per-view. Popped up, one away. Schneider with the nice out there. Next up, Julio Rodriguez. Yeah, Raw is becoming like must-see TV, even though we know some Raws are going to be better than others. But, with the fall of AEW, and NJPW and ROH and Impact, they're out there, but you're not competing with WWE right now. AEW was the king of the crown, during COVID, where WWE struggled. But since we're past the Vince McMahon era, I don't really see anybody catching up to WWE for a while. I don't even know if AEW will ever catch up to them ever again, unless they can get some big signings, to cross over from WWE to AEW. And also they need their superstars to be healthy. Like, we need Kenny Omega to be healthy. We need the Young Bucks to be wrestling every week. And if you're not seeing like their top dogs, Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, if you're not getting all, Will Ospreay, if you're not getting all of your top tier talent on TV every week, how the hell are you going to compete with WWE and that monster that they've been creating? Big swing and a miss for Julio. 2 away. See, it's not working. We continue to have this lineup popped up, struck out. Now we got Polanco in the 3-hole. And none of these guys are batting even 200. Make the change. Put Josh Rojas in the leadoff role and move JP, Julio, and Polanco out of the 1, 2, and 3. If they got to bat 5, 6, and 7, so be it. Maybe move Cal up to the 2-hole. Rojas to the 1-hole. Let's move this lineup around. Maybe a Haniger to the 3-hole. You have to find ways to not have egos get hurt. We just have to find a way to win. The team isn't good right now, right? Toronto's 5 and 6. We're fucking 4 and 7. And this was supposed to be for, one of the potential top 10 teams, going into this year, a potential, playoff contender. But so far, pitching hasn't been good, right? The bullpen hasn't been good. Hitting hasn't been good. Power hitting hasn't been good. Defense has been piss poor. We need to find a way to turn it around, and hopefully we can. Jorge Polanco, you hit a homer a couple days ago for your first. We're still waiting on Julio's first. Cal had his first, but we're way behind the 8 ball. Let's go. And, this is an opportunity for a pitcher that Kirby is better. Bassett, again, on the mound, 0-2 with a 7.71 ERA. Similar stat line to, unfortunately, our number 1, Luis Castillo. Right down the middle for a strike, 3-1 count. Let's go. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Love you. Appreciate you. Daniel in the building. Odin in the building. Megan in the building. Hope you're doing well. Matt is getting done with a workout, and he'll be in within the next 20 to 30 minutes. 3-2 count. Let's go. And we got a double header. I'm not going to, unfortunately, be able to do the Kraken, but Lauren did end up messaging me, asking me if I was going to do the Mariners and Kraken back-to-back, but I got to be a good dog father and take care of Paisley. If I didn't have Paisley, yeah, I would do a double header tonight, but I will be tuning in, even though I won't be live streaming for the Kraken, and I'll be rooting them on, and hopefully they can finish strong with these last few games of the regular season. Top of the first, 2 outs, Bassett on the mound, Polanco in the box. I want that Mariner Moose to come out early and often. We need 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. That's not too much. As far as baseball is concerned, there's some games where, you're going to get 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 runs. 5 is like the bare minimum you need to win games nowadays. And we haven't been able to put up that type of performance. There we go. We'll take a walk. Polanco, that's much better than a pop-up or a ground out, or a strikeout. So let's keep it going, baby. All right, Polanco on first. Next up, moved up in the order in the cleanup spot for the first time of the year, first baseman Ty France. The former All-Star in 2022 with Julio Rodriguez, had a down year in 2023, and he's looking to get back to All-Star form here in 2024. Let's go. Come on, Ty. We need you. We need to have more than 2 hitters out of 9 be consistent game in and game out. And the sad thing is the 2 guys aren't even our superstar, Julio Rodriguez. It's Josh Rojas, who is supposed to be the worst player on the team, and Ty France, the former All-Star from 2 years ago. So, if we want to be good, we have to be better in the first 60 games. Last year, we only had 1 good player out of 9, Jared Kelenic, and he's no longer on the team. He's kicking ass and taking names for the Atlanta Braves. Let's go, Mariners. Come on, Ty. I switched up a lot of the photos of these guys in the starting lineup. I needed to get some good juju in the stream. You have to find a way. 0-2 pitch from Bassett. Right on top of the zone for a ball. 1-2 count. Yeah, the Kraken are on in like 3 hours. So it's like right after this game is over, I believe that's when the Kraken will come on. This will be over in about 2 hours and 30 minutes. And then a little bit after that, I believe that the Kraken game is on somewhere between 6 and 7 p.m. Obviously Pacific time. I think it's closer to 7, I believe. So Last time I checked. Usually we have like 7 or 7:30 starts, unless we're, East Coast or Canada or somewhere else. Appreciate you, Megan, liking and sharing the stream. And there goes Ty, 3 up and 3 down. And anyone that's got a Twitter/X, if you can help your boy out, it'd be greatly appreciated. It'll definitely help us get more people in the room. And I know once Matt will come in, he'll do the same. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Megan. Let's go to the bottom of the first, and we'll see what we got for George Kirby. 1-1 with a 5.23 ERA. I think George Kirby, in my opinion, is the best pitcher on the team, with the most potential. I like Logan Gilbert as the 2, maybe Castillo as the 3 or the 4. I like Bryce Miller, even though he's been getting roughed up also, but it's one of those things. Sometimes we like to keep players, in a certain position in the rotation based off name recognition. But at the end of the day, it's all about results. So, if Castillo and Kirby and Miller are struggling and Logan Gilbert, has been playing well, and Logan, might end up being our, third best pitcher based off having him pitch third, but that doesn't mean he's actually third best overall. He might end up being first. Right now I feel confident in Kirby most of the time, but right now it might be Logan Gilbert's world, and we're just living, in it. And hopefully when he starts tomorrow, we can end up getting that dub. It's going to be an early matchup though, which makes me a little nervous. You know how we played early. Our first early game a few days ago was against the Guardians, and we played at 1 o'clock Pacific after playing a majority of the games at 6 and 7 p.m. We lost 8-0. So I hope that type of effort, is not duplicated. All right, leading off for the Blue Jays, right fielder George Springer. Batting second, first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And batting third, playing shortstop for Toronto, Bo Bichette. Let's go. Kirby on the mound and on the thumb. Bichette on the thumb as well. Just like yesterday, baby. Go, George. 7 p.m. for the Kraken. Yeah, pregame stuff is always good, too. Yeah, I always try to watch that, 30 minutes to an hour before the Mariners every game. Same thing with the Kraken, as long as I have time to do so, unless I'm working on a thumbnail. But I might have it on in the background. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1-1 count. George Springer is a real key component for the success for Toronto. And if we can minimize the damage between Springer, Guerrero, and Bichette, obviously that's going to give us a better chance to be able to stay close in this game. But we are going to need a big performance out of our pitching staff, and hopefully George Kirby can get 10 Ks today. I don't think I've seen a good pitching performance all year, and we're already on game number 12. I need to see a 10K game or an 11 or a 12. Hell, I don't even need to get greedy and think 11 or 12 or 13 because, we just need to get to 10, double digits. Popped up. Julio's right there. No fly zone. 1 away. Good defense by Julio. Next up, first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Good defense, Julio. We're going to need your bat, though. You need to wake up. You're supposed to be one of the best players in the world, top 10, but you played like you're, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, but, some of it's got to be on him, but also Scott Service, our manager, needs to be able to be brave and move some of these guys around and not being stubborn and keeping the same guys in the same spot in the lineup. It's just like in sales, back in the day, sometimes you work with certain people in a room, right? And, you vibe off them, and vibe is everything, right? Just like Uncle Mo and that momentum. And, you're not going to want to be in the same room with the same people every single day, especially if you have like a sales force and a crew, of like 15 or 20 people. Maybe one day you're with these 3 people and the next day you're with the other 3, and you'll see how you vibe off them or how they vibe off you. And sometimes they'll feed off your energy. Sometimes you'll feed off their energy. But if you keep things the same and all 3 are struggling, what are the chances that all 3 are going to be able to turn it around? I mean, it's possible, but I would really like to see Scott, be brave and, move some of the guys around. even though those are the traditional spots for those three guys. But I mean, we're already 11 or 12 games in. None of the guys are even batting 200, and the standard is 300, and you're not even at 200. So that's really alarming for a player like JP Crawford, who's one of my favorite players on the team, as well as Julio Rodriguez, who's supposed to be like our Hall of Famer potentially down the road, like a Ken Griffey Jr. 2.0, but he's not playing like it, right? And then Polanco was the big pickup in free agency, but he hasn't lived up to the billing yet. Safe at first after the bobble. Polanco with an error. Come on, Polanco. See if Vladdy is safe off that run to first. He's a little thick. Reached on an error, safe at first off a fielding error by second baseman Polanco. Damn it. Good effort there by Vlad to run it out at first. Oh, really? Yes. I can't wait to, look forward to watching, the next episode. It's like I haven't got that feeling. I mean, besides when we had the Monday Night Wars with Nitro and Raw, where I was like, I couldn't wait, to watch it. But, sometimes, being poor, you couldn't get cable. So I had friends with VHSs that I would just go to like Bi-Mart or the local store and get, the best VHS that I could afford. And then I would just let all my buddies know to record all that stuff. So a lot of times I wouldn't see Monday Night Raw or Nitro live until the next day on Tuesday, but it didn't matter. I mean, all the friends and the homies were talking about it at school and whatnot, but, just to be able to watch it and be a part of it like everyone else, it was awesome. Kraken play at 7. Let's go. Defend the deep release to Kraken. Let's get both wins for Seattle tonight. Bo Bichette in the box. Bottom of the first, runner at first. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 count. Bottom of the first. Pitch is inside. 2-2 count. Yeah, me too. We play well. How many games do we have left, Megan, until the season's over? I don't know if you know that or if you've seen a post, but I always appreciate people sending me posts about, either their favorite team, their favorite player, or if it's something that we share together, like the Kraken. Anytime I get something Mariners or Kraken from like Megan or Reflect, it's a joy. Or if I get something Oregon Ducks from Matt, it's nice to be able, and I usually try to send things, to you guys also if I see something that's worth sending. But a lot of times that we're going to be, liking the same socials. So more than likely, we're both going to see the same information at some point. So it's kind of one of those things. If it's really cool, maybe we'll send it. Little double play action. 1, 2, got him. There we go. Good defense by the Mariners. I like it. End of the first inning. We're still knotted up at 0. Let's go to the top of the second. And let's see if we can get the Miaches going. Okay, we need to be electric here. I can't believe we have so many losses. We're 4-7. We should be 7-4 or better. I mean, that was the expectation, going into the year. You're like, oh, we're going to be pretty good this year. And then you look at after 11 games, you're 4-7. It's frustrating, but you got to keep the faith. And make sure you're taking care of your mental health. We'll always make sure the show is sponsored for mental health and the importance of dogs and cats in your life. If you got pets, spend time with them. Okay? Time is short. Make sure you make the most of every single day. Tick off the boxes on every single thing that you need to do to succeed every single day. Win the day. Mental health. Make sure you take care of yourself. Let's go, baby. George Kirby, Bo Bichette. Let's go to the top of the second. Leading off for the Mariners. Right fielder, Mitch Haniger. If you can go for a home run here, I mean, I would be delighted. Okay? Batting next, another Mitch, DH, Mitch Garver. And batting third, hitting his first home run of the season last night, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Do it again. And I'm busting out the Mariner Moose now. I'm not waiting until we're down by 8 runs Okay, I need a little bit of hope early. All right, so we're getting that motivation early, and we're boosting it up. Okay, and not only that, hey, we'll have them jump up and down, even though we haven't got any home runs yet. Hey, a little foreshadowing. We got to have a good one today. Hey, Mariner Moose, he said, hey, what about us? What about you? Let's go. We're too good for this. But the Blue Jays are solid, so again, it's going to be tough, and we're in their building, so, if we end up losing, I don't think any Mariner would be shocked, or Mariner fan, but we're hoping for the best. Mitches! Yeah, you're one of our NHL experts, so, any type of information that you got, based off prospects and the draft, or possibly who the Kraken might be targeting or looking at, I'm all about that information, and you're going to have way more knowledge on that subject than me. So I look forward to hearing what you have to bring to the channel, or based off a message or a post in the near future. Same thing goes for the Seahawks, and our teams in the NFL. NFL draft is going to be around the corner also, and that will be very exciting. Pitch is high. 3 balls and 1 strike to Mitch Haniga. Take the walk if needed. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think that more, about that side of the Kraken than a lot of Kraken fans. I mean, we already know, how it goes for like football and college football and the passions that we have for that, But it's like, I might have a little bit of information, on the Mariners, and you're going to have a little bit more on the Kraken. You're going to be doing a lot of reading, and you're going to keep up with that. So, not that I don't, I'm going to keep up with it also, but. Haniger to first. We always love that. All right, Mitch Garver, let's go. Matt in the building. What's good? How was the workout, my guy? Get a good one in? I got the Julio jersey on today. Griffey was on yesterday. I need Julio to turn this ship around. Yeah, well, a lot of us are fully invested. We're not half invested. It's like Matt and me are, out of a scale of 1 to 10, as far as Ducks, we're like 1,000. You're like that with the Kraken and the Seahawks, and obviously with the New Zealand All Blacks and some of those others that you follow. So, a lot of us have those things that are very precious to us. We spend money on the merch. We watch the games. We read like crazy. We watch film, and we soak every piece of information that we can about our teams and our players, as well as the rivals. So that way we know what we're getting ourselves into. So, I mean, we're fanatics here. We're not average. Top of the second, runner at first, Mitch Haniga. 2-2 count to Garver. Let's go, Mitch. 2 Mitches make a right. Garver. Uh-oh, double play. Damn it. Big double play. We get a double play. They get a double play. Damn, that was brutal. 2 away. Got to hit that ball a little bit harder. And that was just a good defensive play by Toronto. Right place, right time. Both Mitches get out, but I will not give up on the Mitches. They'll step up later tonight. They have to. Top of the second, 0-0. Bassett on the mound, and my boy Big Dumper Cal Raleigh in the box. Let's go, Cal. We need you. One of my favorite players on the team. Highly underrated. One of the top 10 catchers, typically in Major League Baseball. Arguably the best power hitter out of any catcher in Major League Baseball. I mean, there's a few, that are very, very good, but he's definitely one of the best ones. He's the one that, if there was a catcher in Major League Baseball that could get to 30 to 40 home runs, it's him. He may not get 30 to 40 every year, but if he doesn't get 30, he's definitely good for 20 to 25. It just depends if he can get into the groove early in the season or not. 3 up and 3 down. Let's go to the bottom of the second. We're still knotted up here at 0. Next up for the Blue Jays. former Dodger, former Red Sox. It's JT Justin Turner. Batting second, left fielder. He's got the mustache. He got the goggles. Davis Schneider. And batting third, second baseman, Devon Biggio. Let's go, Mariners. Yeah, the whole team needs to do better. Rojas and France are doing pretty well, but as far as everyone else, batting average-wise, a lot of them are below average. But not only that, they're like really below average. You know, we're normally used to seeing J.P. Crawford batting, you know, close to 280 to 300 or over 300. Same thing with Julio. You know, Polanco's brand new to the team, and I don't think anyone anticipated him struggling this bad. Garver's brand new to the team, the other Mitch, and he's struggling. So Haniger is, I think, doing about what we thought he was going to do, and we know that he can improve and get his batting average closer to 300. He's at 257, so I got no complaints for Haniger. I got no complaints for Rojas, and no complaints for Ty France. But again, you know, 3 guys out of 9 isn't going to cut it, and even Haniger's numbers are lower than they should be. 257 is like, you know, that's like average, you know, but you want to see that number closer to 300 or over 300, and hopefully he'll get there. Next up in the box, Justin Turner. Let's go, Kirby. We need a big night tonight. 8 to 10 Ks. Let's go, George. Each team is hitting to a double play already so far. A little unusual. First pitch, low and in the zone, 1-0 count. Bottom of the second, 0-0. Mariners and Blue Jays. Blue Jays 5-6. Mariners 4-7. Both teams need this desperately. 1-0 pitch from Kirby. In the zone for a strike. There we go, baby. 1-1 count. Let's go, George. Nice slider. A combination of sliders and sinkers from George Kirby. In the zone, on the corner. 1-2 count. Nice job, George. One-two pitch from Kirby. Fouled off towards first base. And with the nice, generous donation in the last 2 days, you know, from our wrestling stream for WrestleMania night number 2, WrestleMania 40, as well as the Mariners and Blue Jays first matchup, I was able to go to Petco and, you know, get some things for Paisley. So she is very, very happy. There we go. First punch out for George Kirby. There we go. Yes. There we go. Mariner Moose. And hopefully we get to see that 9 more times before Kirby goes out. Let's go. Nice job, George. Next up, Davis Schneider. He's got the handlebar mustache. He got the goggles. He's locked and loaded. First pitch strike ahead of the count. Nice job, George. Moosey doing good so far. Hopefully we can use him a lot tonight. Strike right on the corner, borderline 0-2 count. Here we go. Let's get another strikeout. We need a combination of good pitching and good hitting in the same day, in the same game. Let's go. Another one. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Electricity there from George Kirby. I like it. K number 2. You just got to talk it into existence. Let's go. Nice job, George. And he's one of those guys that can strike out a side where, you know, you end up having an inning and he strikes 3 guys in a row. Not a lot of guys in Major League Baseball have that ability. strike out all three batters and end the inning. And he's not going to be able to do it all the time, but he definitely has that capability. And I'm hoping that he can do it here at this next at bat. Next up, Cavan Biggio. Pitches inside, 1-1 count. Craig Biggio's son, the former Astro. Let's go, George. Bottom of the second, 0-0, 1-1 pitch. Pitches outside, 2-1 count. Come on, George. Now, George is a phenom, too. At some point, he will be labeled, our best pitcher in the organization. I don't know when that's going to be. It might have to, be next year. It might be this year. But he's, on the cusp. And he just needs to be a little bit more consistent. There's another strike. Let's go. 2-2 count. But he's a rookie in 2022, the same year as Cal Raleigh and Julio. So when you have three guys as rookies coming up together, it's exciting. You get to see their development together, and they're really the backbone of the team. George is arguably the best pitcher. Julio is arguably the best player, and Cal is one of the best catchers already in baseball, and they've only been in the league 3 years, all three of them. But they have a long ways to go. They're not there yet, but you can see the potential. It's there. 3-2 pitch. Ripped. Oh, that was crushed there by Biggio into the infield. Nice hit. No strikeout there by George. We'll have to wait for the next batter. Cavan Biggio with a nice single right up the middle. Next up, catcher Alejandro Kirk. Bottom of the second, 2 outs, 0-0, runner at first. Biggio at first. Pitches high, 1-0 count. Come on, George. Pitch by Kirby. Dribbler, throw to first. Got him. There we go. We're out of the inning. Still knotted up at 0. We're not down 1-0, 2-0, 5-0, 8-0. That's a good sign, but we have to be able to manufacture some hits and runs. Let's go, Marinez. Next up for Seattle in the top of the third, left fielder Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. We need you. Batting second, the best player hitting-wise on the Mariners besides Ty France. Move him higher in the lineup. Scott Service, please. Third baseman, Josh Rojas. Let's go, Josh. And batting third, 0 for 1, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And when the Mariners are typically good, JP is good and Julio is good, but both are struggling, and our record is 4-7. So, there's always going to be that magic and that bang bang factor, right? But you have to make sure that you're getting the job done with hits, right? With pitching, bullpen, and defense. It's a team game. You can't rely on just one person. Yeah, I've seen the Seahawks have been doing their due diligence. They even brought in Michael Penix Jr. for an interview. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to draft that particular player, but it's always good to be able to bring guys into the building, if you have interest. So that way you can ask those players questions and find out who they are off the field rather than how they are on the field. Because that's what really determines, a lot, in those draft war rooms. They have to look, at the leadership. Are they coachable? Are they smart? How do they talk to people? How do they treat people? They got a good relationship with the previous teammates and coaches and assistants. So I'm definitely excited to see where the NFL draft goes, not only for your team, but for all of ours as well. You like that Mariota post with all those jerseys, man? Super sweet. Really good classic jerseys in that Mariota era. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. And also, you got to think that Chip Kelly might implement that at Ohio State against us, and against all the other opponents in the Big Ten. It'll be interesting if he brings that Oregon scheme to Ohio State, or if he actually makes up something like brand new, like a brand new Ohio State offense that we've never seen before. Maybe more up-tempo, maybe more fast-paced, maybe similar to Oregon, maybe not. But it'll be exciting, for that rivalry. That'll be the matchup that I'm looking forward to the most in the Big Ten. Oregon and Ohio State, Oregon and Michigan. Those are going to be tough. Even Oregon, Penn State will be tough. Not saying that Oregon and USC and Washington and UCLA won't, but when you're going into someone else's division, those are the top three usually. And I definitely want to see how we match up, just like a lot of the other teams do as well. Throw to first, one away. Canzone grounded out to second. Come on, Dom. I need confident Dom. I need swagger Dom. Come on now. Next up, third baseman, Josh Rojas. Let's go, Josh. Get a hit. You've been the best player, for what? Maybe 10 out of 11 games, batting average-wise. So, Ty France just got a higher batting average than you going into this game. But in like the previous 10 or 11, you were the best hitter. 333 average. You don't got any homers, but you're kind of like a leadoff hitter, a two-hitter. You got 3 RBIs. I mean, I would really love for him to start batting in the 1, 2, or 3 hole. We just need, guys that are hitting to hit at the top of the lineup. There's no point of having Rojas bat ninth when we can need him to be batting first, second, or third. When number 1, 2, and 3 are all batting under 200. JP Crawford, Julio Rodriguez, and Jorge Polanco. You have to make that adjustment, Scott Service. First, to be honest, I don't know enough about his personal life and his film to make an honest assessment. So usually, I like to be able to watch the film, watch the games, go back and see if there's any other interviews that he has. I've seen some of him. I've watched him play, but I wouldn't be able to give you, yay or nay or what my gut tells you yet. I have to be able to dive into that world and still, doing baseball and NHL. My mind is starting to transition that way. And I still try to take peeks, throughout, the process, of film study and just reading, as we get closer to the NFL draft. But, I don't got an opinion, yay or nay just yet. Just being honest. Top of the third, 2-2 pitch from Bassett. Rojas with another hit. What am I telling you? Service, you have to look at the analytics and the statistics. And if your best hitter is in the 9 hole, right, and he's batting 300, 400, and then you got the 3 guys at the top of the order that normally, can get hits but can't, right? Make a change, right? Let's go. Nice job, Rojas. I've been talking you up, and you're, stepping up and delivering, and I love it. And the best part about it is Rojas was supposed to be our worst player on the team. So it shows you that even though a lot of the Mariner fan base is frustrated and offense hasn't been good, defense hasn't been good, pitching hasn't been good, hitting hasn't been good, right? But then there's some bright surprises on the team like Rojas, where everyone counted him out. He was the worst player coming in. He was going to replace Eugenio Suarez, who was very good for us, right? And then he ends up being locked and loaded, and he's one of the top 2 hitters of the Mariners so far. So, again, it's all about perspective. Of course, we want to have a better record, but at least Josh is doing well, and I'm about that life. Let's go. Next up, JP Crawford. Come on, JP, we need you. Top of the third, 2-1 count. I don't care if you have to take walks. I don't care if you have to get hit by a pitch as long as you don't get hurt. We need to find ways to get you on base and to get your swagger back. Let's go. And once JP gets his swagger, Julio will get his. They're like brothers. It's like they're right next to each other. They feed off each other's emotions. When one does good, the other does good. When one does bad, the other does bad. It's very rare where one of them does good and the other one does bad. They're very in sync. I don't know why that is, but, I guess it works out when they're both hot, but when they're both not, that's what we're at right now. Come on, JP, 3-1 count, take the walk. Yeah, I sent you the post about our new running back coach that we ended up getting. That was a wide receiver coach. Unfortunate news there for the Beavers. Damian Martinez is transferring. We don't really need running backs. Stolen base. But we got a walk out of Crawford. There we go. But, Damian Martinez is transferring. That's the best player on the Beavers. And they don't have a division, and I feel bad for him. But could you imagine if the Ducks ended up picking Martinez and he ended up coming to Oregon, or if Martinez went to USC, or if Martinez ended up going to one of those bigger schools? I'm very interested to see where he lands because I think that he has NFL qualities in a couple years, but he is special. And it's hurting the Beavers bad. They lost their coach. They lost a lot of players, and they had their worst nightmare that happened today. They lose their best running back they've had in a few years. All right, Julio, let's go. But I totally understand why he transferred. A lot of question marks, about where he's going to play. Are they going to be in a division? Is it a Pac-2? Are they going to join the MAC or the WAC? I really feel bad for the Cougars and the Beavers. I would really hope one day that the Big Ten will be like, let's add them. They think that the Beavers and Cougars are so low class. They're not. The Cougars and Beavers are underdogs. I would never count those guys out against the Huskies or the Ducks. And every time we play the Cougs, it's always tough. And if we go to Pullman, sometimes we lose, or we have to come back being down by 20. It's like, and then the Beavers, their recruiting was actually starting to get pretty good over the last couple years, and then they had their coach leave, but you saw improvement. I'm not a hater, towards the other teams that are in Oregon or Washington. I root for them, to win, just not when they play the Ducks. Then I'm going to be rooting for, our team, me and Matt's team. But when they're not playing Oregon, yeah, I'm definitely rooting for the Beavers to kick ass, and I'm wanting the Huskies and Cougs to at least, play well, Or if you're at the Trojans, and you're doing your business, hopefully that defense can get better. So that way Megan doesn't have to pull her hair out every time she's watching that defense, giving up way too many points. And at some point you just got to get some of those studs, that want to change the culture, for the USC Trojans. They've had good defensive players in the past. It's just about changing the culture. Double play. Got him. Wow, what a defensive play by the Blue Jays. We leave two stranded. That one hurt. That was a gut punch right there. Oh, brutal. Are we going to challenge that or not? Julio's standing at first. Nope, no challenge. Go to the bottom of the third. Couple double plays for the Blue Jays. Their defense is on point. All right, next up for Toronto in the bottom of the third baseman, the former Yankee, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Playing center field today, Dalton Varsho. 0-for-0, first at bat. And then we're at the top of the order here again. Playing right field, batting third. In the bottom of the third, 0-for-1, George Springer. About what people said about Verse? Is there a certain type of bias, either good or bad, that the Hawk fans are saying about Verse? Like they want him or they don't want him? What's the pulse like right now for Verse? Is it a good fit to some Hawk fans? What are people saying on your side? I would assume there's going to be a little bit of, yeah, that's good. And then a lot of people, no, we need to get someone else. That's always going to be natural, but usually it's going to be a little bit more one-sided, one side or another. Might not necessarily be 50-50, but it could be. Just depends on who actually has watched him play, who actually knows, who he is, And obviously the people that have watched and read and watched film, they're going to have a better understanding than maybe some of us that haven't got that chance just yet. So, including myself. Oh, Rojas. Oh, do you think people know what people said about him? Yeah, I think he definitely, and I don't think it was like to be mean. It's just that all the other guys were more seasoned and they actually played well. And we had a third baseman that was our third baseman for years. So he was like the new guy coming in, and I don't think there was really any expectations. So for people to say that he might be the worst, it wasn't because he's played bad, for years and years and years, and he's just a bad player. It's just the unknown. He's the new guy. So we just assumed that he wasn't going to be able to fit into that role and live up to Eugenio Suarez's numbers, the former third baseman that we had for years and years and years. But he's starting to prove that, even though it's an unknown, now it's known. Hey, I'm pretty good. And I think the Mariner fans are starting to come around where you're like me, I'm starting to realize how good he is playing, that maybe we need to move him out of the 9-hole, which is typically the worst hitter on the team. That's the spot that they bat at. And maybe we need to move him to the 1-hole or 2 or 3 at the top of the lineup, because that way when you start a game, you can get hits right in the beginning. And that's why they have Ty France at 4. And they had him early in the season at 8 because he was struggling. So you need to move the best hitters within the first 4 spots or first 5 spots. That's typically how it goes. You can always have a decent hitter 6, 7, 8, 9, but potentially how you win games is you stack the lineup with a lot of good hitters at the top to get you some runs early, and then you hopefully have a couple guys in the bottom half of the lineup that can hold their own. Varsho with a hit. Yeah, Varsho obviously, but yeah, Rojas has a lot to prove. That was a nice hit by Varsho. And I don't know if they're going to move him. Scott Service is kind of stubborn a little bit, but again, I feel that if he does, it would help us win, and I'm not saying that if you move him, his batting average is going to climb this like skyrocket crazy numbers. But I think that if you put him in that lineup and you move him, a little bit higher in the lineup instead of 9, somewhere between 1 through 4, probably because he's a smaller guy. And normally the 4-hole guy is the buff guy. The 4-hole guy is usually the home run hitter. So you wouldn't put Rojas there. He's more like a singles hitter, kind of small like Ichiro or JP Crawford. So if that's the case, you normally would have them bat 1 or 2, possibly 3, if you want to put them there. 1, 2, or 3 would be perfect, but we'll see. But again, it also can work if they keep Rojas at 9 and the other guys start playing well, because then it'll go 9, 1, 2, 3 at some point in the game, where you can get collectively a couple hits in a row. But again, you just don't want to have 3 or 4 bad batters next to each other. It's really hard to be able to manufacture hits if 3 guys in a row are all struggling. You got to be able to, in between the guys that are struggling, get a guy that's good, so that way you can feed off that momentum and that vibe. But again, I don't, I'm not getting paid the big bucks to make the calls, or give suggestions. So. Next up, George Springer. Yeah, because like I said, Ty France was batting in the 8-hole. Rojas was in the 9-hole. And if those are your best hitters, you need to move both of those guys within the first 4 spots. So that way, whether it's JP or Julio can feed off that energy and maybe they can get going. And then if we can get those 2 guys going, then we'll have 4 guys out of 9. And then we can wait for Cal and some of the others to get going. It's like progression. You want everyone to be hot at the same time, but it's baseball. It's so hard. And, and these guys feed off each other and emotions and vibes. Good vibes only. When things are good, it's really good. But when things get bad, it gets really, really bad. But it can't get any worse than it already has at the first part of the year. At least we're not 0-11. We're 4-7, which is not good. But hell, Toronto's supposed to be a pretty good team, and they're 5-6. So it's not like we're that far behind the 8 ball, but it feels like it. But again, as if we can just start chipping away and just, getting a couple wins here and there and staying above 500 and then hopefully getting on a run at some point where like we have like an 8-game win streak, kind of like the Kraken. It's like we want to make sure we're staying above 500, we're treading water, and then eventually you want to have a couple hot streaks to get you some leeway, where you're a few games above 500, you get on a nice like 8-game win streak. So that way, if you end up playing a team and you lose 3 in a row, your life isn't over. Like you still feel like, okay, fuck, we lost 3 in a row, but we're still 5 games above 500. We're okay. Instead of, being below 500 and then you keep losing and losing and losing and everyone's like, sell the team. This sucks. I hate the Mariners and all this other shit. It's like, it's tough. I get it. But you just got to have that blind faith. Go, George. Bottom of the third, runner at first. We're knotted up at 0. At the Rogers Center, 1-2 count. Kirby on the mound. Springer in the box. Let's go. Wow, that's crazy. Three throws to first is considered a balk. That's brutal. Bottom of the third now, runner at second, 1-2 count with 1 out. Runners in scoring position, only a .215 average for the Blue Jays, so that's a good sign for us. One-two pitch from Kirby. Damn it. You got to be kidding me. Throw is late. 1-0 Blue Jays. Brutal. That's crazy. Springer fouling off 8 pitches in a row. Hung with it. Single to the center. Varsho scored. 1-0 Toronto. Next up, first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Come on, Mariners. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Toronto with 1 away. Kirby 47 pitches in. Guerrero 0 for 1. First pitch from Kirby to Vlad. Inside, chopped up for a foul. 0-1 count. I appreciate Megan and Matt with the like and the share on the stream. Appreciate that very, very much. Fouled off, 0-2 count. O2 pitch. Inside, dribbler, throw to second. Springer is out at second base. Fielder's choice with the runner out. Next up, Bo Bichette. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Toronto, runner at first, 2 outs. Bichette 0 for 1. George Kirby, 50 pitches in. Let's go, baby. Chop foul. Pretty warm day here in Oregon. Cut off shirts and short weather, let me tell you. Chop foul towards third base, 0-2 count. But me and Paisley got some good exercise in already today. Got a chance to go to Petco and get her a couple new bones, new ropes, a couple toys. She's happy. Now we just got to get this Mariner dub. 0-2 pitch. Bichette, chopped foul. That's a nice souvenir. Reflect in the building. What's good? We've gotten 1 hit, but we have also an error. But we're down 1-0. They only have 3 hits, and they Springer singled to center, and then Varsho scored. But it's been, I wouldn't say great. I wouldn't say it's terrible. 3 innings pitched for Bassett, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks. Kirby, 2.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 3 Ks. So, I mean, the Ks are there for Kirby, but again, it's like they're not like blow it past you kind of Ks like Bryce Miller and Castillo when they're good. You know, it's like George Kirby is like the Greg Maddux of pitchers, except he's just not getting strikeouts. You know what I mean? He's getting kind of roughed up. Back, gone. Damn. Well, there's a home run, but for the wrong team. Bo Bichette, homer to left center, 431 feet. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. scores. Toronto 3, Seattle 0. Why? Next up for the Blue Jays, Justin Turner. Like Kirby is pitching, you know, based off location and not speed, but the only problem is he's not hitting his spots and he's getting crushed up out there. No, you didn't. This was going to happen if you started at the beginning of the stream or not. But they did move Ty France to the 4-hole in the lineup, but we needed to move Rojas. You know, he's the one that got the hit in the 9-hole. We should move him to the 1 or 2 spot. You know, have two of the best hitters on the team in the first 4 spots. You know, because like I said, we went over the batting averages, and again, JP, Julio, and Polanco are not cutting it out in the 1, 2, 3 hole. You know, so if that means going like Rojas in the 1 hole, you know, maybe JP in the 2 hole, Julio in the 3 hole, and Ty France in the 4 hole, Haniger in the 5 hole, maybe that'll help. Or maybe sliding JP down, you know, into like the 5 hole next to like Cal, you know, and helping him out. Like, you know, sometimes you got to think outside the box, and, you know, a lot of the Mariner homies, we've been talking about this, but it's like, you know, pitching has, you know, been rough, hitting has been rough. But again, if Service is going to be stubborn and he's not going to move any of the first 3 guys, then it's going to be a long fucking year. First home run of the season for Bo Bichette. And, of course, I had him on the thumb. And, of course, he crushed it against George. Sports gods, that's not what we wanted. We want 10 Ks with George. I didn't want to see a multiple home run game out of Bo Bichette. Next up, 0 for 1 with a strikeout earlier in the matchup. DH, former Red Sox and Dodger, JT Justin Turner. Turner pops it up on an 0-2 count, out of play. Bottom of the third, 3-0 Blue Jays. Seems like it's a broken record. You know, every single game and we're down. It's like, can we get a game where we're ahead? You know, or even if we are ahead and then we blow the lead and we lose, but at least we have the lead at some point in the game. Like, it's really hard mentally to like watch games, call games, be a fan, where we're losing every single game and we're never ahead. It's like, golly. Justin Turner with a stand-up sliding double. Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, shit, you did 105. I did 95, and it looks like we're both wrong. I mean, we might still be able to get to 88 to 95 wins, but we better turn shit around real quick. But 100 wins, I don't think it's not looking very pretty for us to get to a hundo. I hope so one day, but yeah, I don't know if our predictions are going to come true. 5 degrees? My goodness. Next up, Davis Schneider. He got the mustache. He got the goggles. 0 for 1 with a K in left field. Davis Schneider. Scoreboard needed to be refreshed. Bottom of the third, 2 outs, 1-0 count, 3-0 Toronto. Every Mariner fan ripping their hair out again. But you got to have faith. Oh, 55. I was going to say 5. Wow. Australia with a 5 degrees? 78. We're dropped down like almost 20 degrees. That happens to hear us with me and Reflect in the Pacific Northwest sometimes, where we'll get 70 and it'll drop down to 40 or 50 the next day. We've had a couple of those days within the last few weeks. But sun is out. Lots of people outdoors walking their dogs. Nice to see, instead of me hearing them and stuck in the backyard whining and barking, wanting to be outside and walked. So it's always good to see these owners put a little love and time in their pets. Worst feeling ever when, me and Paisley are going for 3 walks a day and the same dogs are just stuck in the house staring at us, as we walk past them multiple times a day, or in the backyard and they never get to actually go on a walk. I mean, I was in like a light windbreaker jacket and like duck sweats, but even then I was a little warm. Had to change. I was like, cut off t-shirt weather, and I'm gonna end up getting a new basketball sometime here pretty soon, because there's this like childhood park that I walk past with Paisley every morning or afternoon. Popped up for Schneider in left field. Canzone's got it, and we're finally out of the inning. And I want to be able to shoot hoops, while Paisley's there at the park, and it'll be refreshing for me. I used to do it all the time, but I haven't done it in years. So I figured, even if I get one of those backpacks, I can throw the basketball in there, or just have it on me and, be able to at least shoot around on one of my 3 walks. And the park is, it's not like a rich area. It's kind of like, it's not like a ghetto or anything like that, but it's just like this cool park that's got really, really big trees and lots of grassy fields, a couple of the benches. It's more of like a nature park with a basketball court like in the middle of it, which is kind of cool. And barely anybody uses the court. And there's like little condo or apartments like on the other side after there's like a little gated fence. And then in the distance, there's like houses and whatnot. But it's kind of nestled in where if you're there in the morning, the sun kind of shines through and it's almost like spiritual, where it's like you feel like you're playing on like a heavens basketball court. Grass is green. You got the sunshine coming in through the trees, lighting up the concrete court. A lot of memories. I mean, I played there probably for about maybe 5 to 10 years. This was years ago. And anytime I see kids or adults playing at that court, it makes me smile. I almost want to go up to them and be like, make sure this court doesn't die. Not a lot of kids or adults nowadays, at least out here in Oregon, everyone's, on the socials and, playing video games or watching TV. You barely see people outside throwing the football around or throwing the baseball around or shooting hoops. And hopefully, that will come back, at some point or another. It always makes me feel good to see people outside enjoying the good weather. Yeah, that's wild. Global warming and everything else. It seems like we're having record-setting temperatures every single month. Like in the last 7 or 8 months here in Oregon. And it's not just us. It's a lot of different places. So, 100%, you're right. Top of the fourth, 3-0 Toronto. Can we manufacture the 5 runs and 7 to 10 hits that we need to win? Again, we're not going to be able to win a lot of 1-0 games and 2-1 games because it doesn't seem like we're getting in those type of scenarios or extra inning games. So if that's not the case, we better hit 5 runs and 7 to 10 hits, and preferably 10 hits or more. Because when we get 10 hits or more, our record is crazy. It's like really good. I was reading a few articles through like Mariners PR, and I went over that a couple days ago based off the last few years. But it's like when we get more than 10 hits, we have an insane record. It's like when we get over 10 hits, our record is like 80 wins, 20 losses. It's like it's something mind-boggling, when we end up, getting that number. But obviously 10 hits is a lot, but again, that should be the new standard for the Mariners. 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and it needs to be preached. Not just go out there and let's have a good game. Hey, hope everybody wins. Fuck that. We need to, put some pressure, on some of these guys, and we need to move the lineup around. No worries. If you feel a little bit better, I'll still be here. Reflect with a 3-er. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $3 holla. 97 to go. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. But right now with the batting averages, you're about analytics, Reflect, just like me. So JP Crawford 136, Julio 178, Polanco 171. If none of the guys are batting 200 or better, they all need to get out of the 1-2-3 hole, in my opinion. I don't care if their name is Julio Rodriguez. Move them down in the lineup. Ty France, 367. He was batting in the 8 hole. Now he's in the 4 hole. Well deserved. That's a good move by Service. Haniger is batting 257, so you can leave him there. Garver, 172. He needs to go lower in the lineup. Cal's at 200. He needs to go higher in the lineup. Canzone, 214. You could leave him there. And then Rojas is batting number 2 on the team at 364. France is 367. So if it's me, Rojas in the 1 or 2 hole, and move the other 3 guys out of there, Crawford, Rodriguez, and Polanco, and find a way to, Rojas in the 1 hole, Cal in the 2 hole, maybe Julio in the 3 hole, right? And then Ty France in the 4 hole, and then maybe JP in the 5 hole, and you need to move guys around. Like if we just keep JP, Julio, and Polanco in the 1-2-3 hole all year, we're going to win like 80 games. It's going to be terrible. So I hope that, if you're willing to move guys like Ty around, don't, be so stubborn that you've already made up your mind that Crawford, Julio, and Polanco have to be there. You need to be able to get some hits and runs, and what you're doing isn't working, especially at the top of the lineup. If the top of the lineup sucks, you're going to lose. And that's exactly what's happened to us. So, and I know it's weird to think that we could have like Rojas and France, 2 of the first 4 hitters, but if they're the 2 of the best, why wouldn't you? Right? I mean, am I crazy here? I'm just trying to look at these analytics and understand, like Rojas 1, maybe Haniger 2, Julio 3, France 4, Cal 5. Why not? JP 6. Punish him. If he's not playing good, punish these guys. If you're so prideful of batting 1, 2, 3, you're doing shitty, put JP in the 6 hole. Put Julio in the 5 hole, Put Polanco in the 8 hole. Sometimes you got to teach these guys a lesson, and they have to get motivated. And also, if they get frustrated that they get moved, they know they did something wrong. If you leave them there, they think everything's fine. Everything isn't fine, right? $3. 97 to go. Pitch is high. 1-1 count. I've heard that too. Some people are like, he's top 5. Is he? But the problem is I don't know if we would be able to get someone better than him, with just the connection that he has with our players. So it's like, You know, it's one about the connection with the players, but also coaching. It's different, right? I'm not sure what we would be able to get, you know, if we would get someone better or not. Yeah, they need some discipline. Let me know what you want to do for photos. Haniger pops up. 3 up and 3 down. It's a repeating story for Mariner fans. Go to the bottom of the 4th. So let me know what you want to do for photos for your dono. Next up for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 4th, second baseman, 1-for-1, Kayvon Biggio. Batting second, catching for Toronto, 0-for-1, Alejandro Kirk. And batting third, 0-for-1 with a K, third baseman, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. I got you. But at least Ty's coming around, you know, so that's nice to see. It's like the Ty of 2022 when he was an all-star. So, you know, that's nice. That was a surprise, you know, and even though everything's going terrible this year for us, Josh Rojas is a surprise. So, I mean, like I said, it's not the players that we thought that were going to be great for us. Like we thought, oh, Garver, Polanco, the new guys. Oh, JP Julio are going to be great. And then we'll see if Cal can get going, you know, and then, you know, sometimes it's the unexpected that rise to the top. So not ideally what we wanted, but hopefully they can feed off some of these other guys. Come on, Ty. Ty's got some cool photos, you know, swinging with his last name, you know, different angles. Francis got some pretty cool photos. Cool poses in his photos. Like whoever takes photos of France does a good job. So you never know what kind of, you know, a potential beginning swing, after swing, as he's looking for that home run ball, raking it deep. Come on, George. Like we got to be able to set the tone with the pitching. And hitting and pitching, you know, a lot of times they say is separate, but so far in 2024, they've been linked. They've both been bad. So we need to find ways to, you know, find our spots and get things going. But not a lot of pitching has been impressive this year. You know, it's like George Kirby's had one good spot, and then now it looks like he's going to have 2 off games. Castillo's looked bad in 3 games. Logan Gilbert looks like he's our best pitcher on the team. Miller's had some bad games. Hancock had 1 good game and then a couple shitty ones. So it's like, at this point, is Logan Gilbert our best pitcher besides Josh Rojas? My gosh. How the tables have shifted, huh? How the tables have turned. Yeah, Reflect, did you see Damian Martinez, the star running back for the Beavers, transferred, or he's transferring? Very curious to see where he falls. Feel bad for the Beavers. Biggio trying to steal second. Polanco with another error. Polanco needs to get out of there. The guy can't hit. He can't fucking defend. He's got an error. He bobbled that ball there. You know, there's too much pressure for him to be in the 3-hole and all the money that we paid him. Yeah, this is not a good fit. You're not focused. You don't have the discipline, Polanco. You know, we thought you and Garver were going to be great, and it's been a huge disappointment bringing those 2 guys in so far. It has not lived up to the billing. Yeah, Martinez is amazing. You remember when they were playing against the Huskies and the Ducks? Like, if they went to him more, who knows? I mean, the Beavers could have easily won more games than they did if they just would have fed him the rock 30 times a game. Like, that's the one case where you got a stud running back, and if you do go 25, 30 carries instead of maybe, 15 to 20, again, if you got a stud running back, feed him, right? Because it's the difference between maybe getting 1 touchdown or 3. And if you get 3 out of your running back, fuck, maybe you win. right? So. Ooh, yeah, you got to give me a reminder on that. You think so? $3 hairs. Let's get to $100, 97 to go. And it's always good. In the last 2 streams, we've had 2 newbies come through and show mad love. You know, it's very rare to get 2 people that are brand new to a channel, one to drop $100 and the other one to drop $200. But again, it's all about connections and finding people that you can relate to, and also having people like y'all in the room, you know, where they can feel safe and they can feel comfortable, and we can actually have the Fanatic family grow, and also have people to match the people like you guys in the room on support and donations and love, and it's awesome. Damn, there's another hit. 4-0 Blue Jays. Oh man, this is so painful. But I will continuously wear the headband and the jerseys and the shirts and the socks. Oh, brutal, 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 brutal. It's like the same thing, different day. We haven't had that in a minute, you know, and every once in a while we'll get newbies to come through, or someone that has subscribed to the channel but just never has been to a live stream before, maybe only watches the reaction videos on the NFL and college football side. Or, you know, or it could be like yesterday where they just randomly found us as a Mariner fan, you know, but again, I am the most consistent, you know, Oregon Duck and Seattle Mariners streamer, game in and game out. So, I mean, if you are a Mariner fan or a Kraken fan or a Duck fan and you're doing a search, you're probably going to find me. And usually they put me pretty high up, you know, when they do the search, which is good. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to sub or like or share or donate, but at least they'll, you know, click on it and they'll make a decision for themselves. But shout out to the newbies coming through. You know, I was able to go to Petco because of what happened the last couple days and spoil Paisley with a couple bones and ropes. And she's definitely a very, very happy girl. And yeah, that makes me happy. Nothing makes me happier than seeing her being happy. Newbies, awesome. Or if Martinez joined the Ducks, oh God. I mean, Thomas Steiner went from the Ducks to the Beavers, you know. But man, Martinez on the Ducks, woo! But I don't know. I mean, I imagine that there's going to be some schools, if they were smart, you know, even high, big name, Michigan, Ohio State, you know, whatever. I mean, the guy is so good. He could play on Bama or Georgia. I mean, he could go. He literally, Damian Martinez is good enough to literally play anywhere in college football, in my opinion. And depending on who you have there, he might have to be an RB2. But he's definitely good enough to be RB1 for more than 3/4 of the schools in college, probably more. You know, I think he is one of the best running backs in college football. So I'm not sure what kind of pro he's going to be, but I like what I've seen following his career. I've watched every game that he's played so far for the Beavers, and I've been impressed. He hits the holes really good, inside and outside. You know, he's a downhill runner. He cuts really well, and he bounces off tacklers. You know, he's like the bell cow, like a Derrick Henry bell cow type of player, even though that's not maybe the best, comparison. Derrick Henry, because he doesn't look anything like Derrick Henry body-wise, but just as far as a beast player, very interested to see where he drops. Springer. Oh, great. 5-0. Blue Jays. Man, it just never ends, does it? Latham. Nice. Now, that's the type of guy that you want to pick up then. You know what I mean? If you get someone that's heavier but then moves just as fast, has that good foot speed and good hands and good feet, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they end up looking at that particular spot. The better the O-line and D-line is for Seattle, the further they're going to get, especially going against, the Rams and the Niners. We obviously know that the Cardinals will be the worst team, and, every once in a while, the Cardinals will steal one from the Rams, Seahawks, or, the Niners, but it's a 3-team race. Niners, Hawks, Rams, and the better O-line and D-line you have, the better it's going to be, and no more Aaron Donald, right? So that's a plus. You're still going to have to defend guys like Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, and we'll see what happens if they get Marvin Harrison Jr., if Kyler's there, or if they trade him in a NFL draft day trade. Maybe Kyler Murray ends up being a Viking or something like that. I mean, we'll have to wait and see where Kyler ends up, if he stays or he goes. But very interested to see what you guys do. Snyder says O-line is overrated. God, our throws, from the shortstop, the catcher, or the second baseman, whether we're trying to throw someone out from catcher, like Cal's throws suck. Like, he can't throw fucking anybody out. He has no arm strength. You would think he would have arm strength because he can hit those 30 to 40 home runs in a season. But as far as being on your knees and throwing guys out, he's not good. He's not good. We need Harry Ford. Please. Put Cal at DH. And I love Cal, so it hurts me saying that, but he can't throw guys out. That was another example. Brutal. Or when we get guys that are trying to, from the outfield, and they're trying to throw to Cal to tag him out, the thrower is nowhere near the catcher. It's always 5 feet to the left, 5 feet to the right, over his head, on the backstop. It's like, can we give our team a chance? It's like everything that we're doing is just, and then we got a fucking early game tomorrow at noon. Last time we played at 1 o'clock, we lost 8-0 when Kirby pitched against the Guardians. And Beater Fever is out with like a Tommy John or ACL. He's out, I believe, with an arm injury out for the season, which is tough for them. But, I mean, can we get a game where we're not down 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-0? I mean, I'm still going to be as positive as possible, but I have to give examples on how to improve the team instead of just shitting on the team left and right like all the other social media presence for the Seattle Mariners. And, we have been playing some teams that, have been, a little challenging to us, but we're sitting right there with like Oakland. I mean, it's just brutal. Team leaders: JP, 2 home runs. RBIs: Canzone, 5. OBP, Haniger, 333. Ty France hits 11. Expanded batting stats, all splits. All these fucking numbers. OPS, slugging, OBP, average. I'm going to have some homework to do. 3 dull hairs, 97 to go. But also, too, remember, when certain people will speak to the media, sometimes it's smoke, right? So all these rumors get circulated by GMs and owners and coaches and OCs and DCs, and they say, we don't need this. We don't want this, right? We don't like that. And then all of a sudden, what do? They pick that, right? Because they're trying to deflect that they don't have interest in a guy when they get that question asked to them. Oh, you want that player? Nah, we don't need that. And then, a month later, and then the Seattle Seahawks select that player, So, I'm not sure if that's the case, because obviously everyone knows O-line is one of the most important positions in football, So sometimes you have to take it tongue in cheek, where sometimes they may be telling the truth, but a lot of times when it's draft season, they lie or fib, because they want to deflect and try to act like they're not interested in a particular person. So that way there's less eyes on that particular player, maybe, right? I've seen it kind of go both ways. There's a lot of deception and lies before the NFL draft and even during the NFL draft. So Yeah, you can't always believe everything that you hear on the internet, or even if it's by the actual person. Like sometimes they may be telling the truth, but other times they lie, not to be like an asshole, but they just don't want too much eyeballs on that particular guy that they have fell in love with. They want to keep that player for themselves, if that, but you can't really predict on how the draft is going to go. A couple trades in the first round, and then the whole order is screwed up. Like you have this like game plan going in, and it's just like when you do fantasy football draft. You have this game plan. Oh, I'm going to pick running back and wide receiver. Oh, and then I'm going to get a tight end. And then all of a sudden, someone does something weird, like pick a quarterback in the first round, and then everything just gets shifted around. So, sometimes you have to wait until it actually happens, and then we have to see how the chips fall. 5-0 Toronto, top of the fifth, 2-1 count, one out. I hope the Kraken aren't losing 5-0 tonight. Hopefully they can get a dub. Come on, Cal. Need another homer, baby. Come on, Cal. Come on, Cal. Let's go, Moose. Like, man, I've been wanting the Mariner Moose to be jumping up and down for strikeouts and home runs, but we just don't get them. Where's the 10K games? Where's the game where we have like 5 solo home runs, or a 2-run shot and a couple solos and a 3-run homer? Like how many games do we have to play to even get one of those statistics to fall, let alone have a game where we get all of that to happen? Like maybe we have to wait until we play like the A's or the Royals to have like an all-star game performance. Hopefully sooner than later. Cal Raleigh popped up. And sometimes also too with players, they might have not panned out on the team that drafted them, but that doesn't mean that player won't pan out later. It's like Baker Mayfield, having to go to multiple teams and then finally finding Tampa and a fit. So you can still, maybe questionable, and it looks like maybe the player's leaning more towards being a bust, but sometimes it's the supporting cast, the coaches, and the team itself and the culture. So sometimes, when they get drafted by a team and they look like shit or they have a down year, it's not always all that player's fault. Sometimes it is, if they're not conditioning and they're not disciplined, right? Sometimes you just have to be able to find somewhere where you feel loved and it's a good fit and you got the right people around you, and then it'll bring the best out of that player. So some guys are a bust from the very beginning, but other guys, it'll take 4 to 5 years to pan out. Every story is different for athletes. Not everyone is going to be a LeBron James and like a phenom and come right out of the gates running. So, sometimes you got to wait, a few years, and it's a what have you done for me lately type of league, especially in the NFL. And most careers only last 4 to 5 years. So you better hope that you have a couple good years in your first 4 or 5, or you're not going to get that second contract to prove that you deserve to be in the league past 4 to 5 years. So that's a little bit of the problem also. Coaching is so important for the developmental stages of players and rookies and free agents. Coaching is everything, baby. Pitch is high, 3-1 count. I try to look at it from all different perspectives, try to get in the shoes of every coach or GM or owner and try to think like them, try to be like them, and try to see like, where is their head in? Like, what kind of strategy are you looking at? And then in the second, part of it, I try to look at it from maybe my perspective. Like if I was them, in their position, what would I do to turn the team around? Based off, statistics and analytics and team fit. And sometimes it's not just, based on them being an athlete, it's what they do outside, like in the locker room, in the dugout, with the other players and the coaches, because I feel like a lot of these players, if you got a good positive attitude outside, You can carry over those good vibes to, on the field, on the court, on the grass or on the turf. 2-out walk there by Bassett. 5-0 Blue Jays. Can we please get a string of hits? Like, I feel with the Mariners also, it's almost been like this weird thing where we can't string together 3 players in a row getting a hit. And that's something that's essential in baseball, to get 3 guys in a row to either get hit by a pitch, a walk, or get 3 consecutive hits in a row, and it's not really asking too much, but when your team is bad, it is. And it's like, you can't get one guy to get a hit, and then 4 innings later, we get another hit. Like, how do you expect to win unless those hits are home runs? And even then, you're still probably down by 3. Popped up, Rojas. A very rare pop-up out for Rojas. And that is the end of the top of the 5th. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th for the Blue Jays. Next up for Toronto in the bottom of the 5th, 1 for 2 with a run and 2 RBIs. Shortstop, Bo Bichette. You've already hit 1 homer. Don't do it again. Next up, 1 for 2 with a K, DH, Justin Turner. Turner would have been a good Mariner to have. I would have had him on the team. I know the Dodger fans wish that he was still there. And batting third, left fielder, Davis Schneider. Oh, baby. But I've been getting a chance to watch like a lot of the Orioles, and I know that's what eventually the Mariners want to turn into. The Blue Jays and Mariners a couple years ago in 2022 were kind of up and coming, but we haven't lived up to the expectations. Then you got to see Arizona, kind of take off in the National League. But as far as the American League is concerned, we already know it's like the Rangers. You never can count out the Astros. Yankees are great now with Juan Soto, but the Orioles, reflex pick to try to go to the World Series last year. When you're young and you're motivated and you got good pitching and good hitting, and everyone's on the same page, that's what we want to be. We desperately want that. And they're a small market team too, but they got everything clicking for them. And I really like watching them play. I think they're the most entertaining team to watch, honestly, out of all the teams. Like, if I had to, obviously the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and then you got the Braves and the Phillies and the Diamondbacks, right? Even though they're struggling early on too, right? But if I had to choose like one team to like go out of my way and watch that's not the Mariners, it's by far the Baltimore Orioles. They are exciting, and they're scoring a shitload of runs. Their pitching is phenomenal. They got guys that have ties to Oregon, like Corbin Burns went to high school in Oregon, right? And then also, obviously Adley Rutschman from Oregon State. So I want to be like the Orioles, baby. Can we get there one day? I hope so. And Michael Penix Jr., I keep seeing him, and we'll see if it ends up changing. But, for all of these mock drafts, to have him, almost all have him as like the 6th guy, it's like almost comical to me. But I think it might be, a blessing. Because, again, if you end up being the 6th quarterback selected, no pressure. You're going to have a chip on your shoulder, and you're going to end up going to a team that's a playoff team or close to a playoff team because you're going lower in the draft. And obviously, the lower you go, the better the team is. So at the end of the day, I think it's going to be great for Michael wherever he ends up landing. Still want him in Tampa, but I know that's not going to be possible with the Baker contract. Popped up to Julio, 1 away. Now at bat, Justin Turner. Come on, Mariners. Can we get some hits, please? One for 2 with a K, Justin Turner. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. And then the Mariners here, 0 runs, 1 hit, 2 errors. And the only guy that's got a hit is Josh Rojas. Come on, man. Come on, man. We're halfway through the game. You know, it's like, are we quitting on each other? Like, you know, like what's going on here? It's like the Mariners are putting out the type of effort, you know, based on what they do in free agency, 54%. Can't win games by only giving 54%. Now they got Thornton in there. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. 4 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 0 walks, 3 Ks. So officially right now, Luis Castillo is not the 1. Kirby's not the 2. Bryce Miller isn't good. Hancock isn't good. We got 2 good pitchers. We got Logan Gilbert, right? He's the 1. And number 2 is Josh Rojas, our third baseman. That's all we got. Someone, come please help us. Big swing and a miss on Schneider. And again, if the Mariners are going to lose games and we lose like 5-4, you know, and it hurts, so be it. But I mean, not when we're getting like blown out every game by multiple runs, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the flip side, not even doing anything on offense. Like why are we playing like the first 10 games in spring training? Why can't we start playing like those last, 10 to 15 games in spring training when we got hot? It's like we're literally mirroring how we started off the season in spring training, like being terrible. And then that's what we're getting here. So hopefully in the next, 15 games after the first 15, when we get from game 16 to 30, hopefully we can play like we did in the second half of spring training. 2 away. Next up, Kayvon Biggio. Bottom of the 5th, 5-0 Blue Jays. And I don't know, you tell me, Reflect, based off watching the Mariners and whatnot, has this been like the most disappointing start of the season that we can remember? Of course I know that, we always start slow, but it seems like we're starting even slower. Like instead of having a full tank at the beginning of the season, it's like we were on a quarter tank to start the season, and now we're on E like every game. Like it's just so painful. Frustrating. It's like, can't we be good at something? Can't we be good at at least one thing? Pitching, bullpen, defense, home run hitting. Can we be good in at least one category if we're going to be terrible? Can we at least show a little light at the end of the tunnel? Tough. End of the 5th, 5-0 Toronto. They got to let me manage the Mariners, turn this shit around. This was us going into the season. This is us after 12 games. I want to be like this. Hopefully we'll get there. Next up for the Mariners, 0-for-1 with a base on ball. Shortstop, J.P. Crawford. You need to get moved down in the lineup, whether that be in the 6 hole, the 7 hole, we got to figure it out. Same thing goes for you. You got to get moved, to either the 3, the 5, the 6, right? 0-for-2 with a K, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Unless you end up getting Tridents up and we can get a home run. But this whole hashtag Tridents up isn't working if we can't get homers. Batting third, maybe the biggest disappointment besides Mitch Garver. Second baseman, Jorge Polanco, 0-for-1 with a base on ball and a K. He did get his first home run of the season a couple games ago, and he's been locating the ball a little bit better, but I think we need to move him down in the lineup also. Come on, Mariners, please. Yeah, it's tough. And then also, I've already had to go through this experience with the 2 of you guys already with the Kraken, right? Where we had some good moments, but we had way too many underwhelming and underperforming moments. So hopefully the Kraken don't play like this also. I can only take so much losing, $3 holla. Appreciate you. What do you want to see next? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Let me know. It could be a Mariner player. It could be a potential Seahawk draft pick if you'd like. It could be Michael Penix Jr. or one of your Huskies. You let me know what you want. I got you. Also, after not making the playoffs for 20 years, but we got close those last 2 years, finally made it with Cal Raleigh in 2022 and George Kirby and Julio as rookies, underperformed last year. And, and it's like we're even doing worse than last year. It's like we're trying to go in this direction. We're not trying to go, we're not trying to be the Oakland A's. We're not trying to be like them. We're playing like them. Come on now. Strike 3 on JP Crawford. 1 away. We need to get your swagger back, JP. We need your swagger back too, Julio. You're starting to lose confidence in yourself. Top 10 player overall, top 5 in popularity. Sometimes even some people would say top 3. I mean, the guy is so popular across the globe. Julio Rodriguez, he's very likable, like Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani and Acuna. But your numbers, man, 178, no homers, 3 ribbies. Like, what are you? Is this like a guy that we just brought up from like single A or high A or double A, and this is like your first at bats for the team? Like, this is not what we expected. We're at 6, 94 to go. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Yeah, my buddies are all messaging me right now. Our top pitchers are stinky, and we can't score any fucking runs or hits. Fuck. Those are the messages that I get. Rough. But I will continue to wear the chain. Julio, there we go. Look at that. Julio Rodriguez with a hit. It's a miracle. Nice job, J-Rod. Finally. We need you, bro. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polanco. Us Mariner fans were super excited to bring you in, and with Mitch Garver, and both of you guys have disappointed us. Polanco even more because, Garv got hurt and never could get back into the groove. Not only Polanco can't hit, right, but now he's making errors defensively. So then you're starting to become a liability, not only in the lineup but defensively. That's not good. Us Mariner fans, we're not going to let that go. We're paying attention to everything. Yeah, walking away from the plank. Watched the newest episode of Shogun last night. The last few episodes has been a lot of dialogue and not a lot of action. Sometimes you'll get that in certain shows, like Deadwood, where it's a lot of dialogue and you're waiting for like the craziness to happen, but still very, very good. And then I'm definitely waiting for X-Men 97 to drop tomorrow on Disney Plus. And then we're going to have a few other shows. Megan says Fallout, based off the video game, is going to be coming out. And then obviously the regular, Good Doctor for me, Grey's Anatomy, Station 19, Wicked Tuna. I got to get those in my life too. Swamp People, I got to get those into my life. Polanco. Yeah, same spot as Julio's hit. They're in right field. What is this? Back-to-back hits? Is it my birthday? What the hell is going on here? There we go. Polanco's like, you know what? Yeah, I fucked up on defense. I have not been a good hitter. Reflect and O-Dog and Matt and Megan are counting on me. Boom shakalaka. There we go. Now we got 2 guys on for one of the best hitters on the team, Ty France. Now, this is how you end up getting on the board. When you get 2 guys on, and then you got your best hitter or your second best hitter, and he gets a home run or an RBI. Who would have thought? It took us to the 6th inning to figure it out. Bassett ends up getting pulled here. And once he goes out, and you know the really sad thing about this is that we have 0 and only 3 hits. And up to that point, before Julio and Polanco, we only had 1. The guy was 0-2 with a 7 ERA. Like, how the hell can you not hit a guy that is 0-2 with a 7.71 ERA? We got 1 hit off of him, and then there's just in the last 2 minutes, we got 2 more. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're at right now. Like, we can't even get hits off guys that don't even have a win. Their ERA is almost at 10. And we're getting like a hit a game, 2, 3. Like, you know, we need new pitching coaches, new hitting coaches, new players, new owner, sell the team, new manager. Top of the 6th, runners at first and second, a little glimmer of hope. But if we do get, you know, a good connection here, with 1 swing, we're back in the game. You know, 5-3, 1 swing. Come on, sports gods. I mean, I haven't been, you know, asking a whole lot from y'all, you know, in this Mariner start of the season. Can you give me a little bit of magic? I mean, hell and high water, 4-7. No Mariner fan thought after the hot, you know, spring training that we had to finish off spring training, you know, that we were going to start off like this. I mean, I think, you know, most of us thought we'd be like 7-4, like the flip the record around, not 4-7. But hell, the way that we've been playing this year, we could be 0-11. Ty France popped up. Julio does not go. Runners at first and second, stranded. Big Shaka. Here we go. Here's a guy that can step up for us. 0-for-1 with a base on ball. One of the Mitches. Right fielder, Mitch Haniga. Let's go, Miach. He can do it. Mitch can homer for us. He was actually very good in spring training. Why not Mitch, huh? Witches need niches. Let's go, Miach. Chop foul off himself. 0-1 count. Come on, baby. We got to be positive, Pete, not negative, Nancy. We got to have the blind faith. I mean, it can't get any worse than it is, can it? Come on, Miach. Fuck, popped it up. Damn it! Varsho. We leave 2 stranded. Brutal. And it shows you like how on you have to be. Like, even if you're not scoring runs, you need to be getting like 2, 3, 4 hits every inning to give yourself, you know, chances to be able to score. You know, you just can't get a couple hits a game and think, well, that's enough. You know, even unless they're home runs every time. Like, if every hit that you have and you only have 3, but they're all home runs, then maybe, you know, you'll be able to be like somewhat close. But if they're only solo shots, you're still down 5-3. Ay, ay, ay. Let's go to the middle of the 6th. Let's see who's up for the Blue Jays. What do you want to do for photos? Reflect, you got another player that you want? Next up, 0-for-2, Alejandro Kirk. I like the Blue Jays colors and their logo. Swaggy. Batting second, the former Yankee third baseman, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And batting third, playing center field tonight, Dalton Varsho. Him and Springer are best buds. We got a good connection. I saw a really cool interview with both of them in the pregame show on the Blue Jays network. And they joke around a lot, they vibe a lot, and they have a really good friendship. It's cool to see that. We need that for the Mariners, baby. Look at the scoreboard. We got White Sox 7, Guardians 5, Brewers 9, Reds 3, Yankees 2, Marlins 0, Braves up 5-0 on the Mets, just like the Blue Jays beating us up right now. Astros 3, Royals 0, Dodgers 6, Twins 0, Cardinals 1, Phillies 0, Rangers 2, Athletics 1, Diamondbacks 2, Rockies 0, and then final score, Tigers 5, Pirates 3, Orioles 7, Red Sox 1. And then we got 3 games on tonight, Rays Angels, Nats Giants, and Cubs Padres. And Elliot messaged me super late last night. The Padres were down to the Cubs 8-0, and then ended up coming back and winning 9-8 with a Tatis homer late last night. You know, anytime I'm just chilling with Paisley and I get messages, you know, either through my Twitter/X or Instagram, I'm always going to take a peek to see what it is. And wow, you know, I'm happy for Elliot. That was a huge comeback. Not a lot of times you can come back being down 8-0 and come back and win. I'm hoping the Mariners can do something like that at some point this year. Now they got their third pitcher in. Kirby, bye-bye. Thornton, bye-bye. Wolf. They got Wolf in. I guess what, Rojas is probably next. Alejandro Kirk in the box. Shit, Josh Rojas might be the MVP of the team so far this season. Had the #1 batting average for like 10 games, except for this game going in. Ty France just barely passed him. And he's been a bullpen pitcher for us twice in the first 10 games. Who's doing better than Rojas for the Mariners? Nobody. And that was supposed to be our worst player. Not because he's bad, but just unproven. And we had Suarez at third for all those years. Oh, we got a chance, baby. But like, you know, when you're looking at this game, if it was 3-0, we could say we got a chance. But when it's 5, and you know, it's been such a tough outing, the best that we can probably hope for realistically is 2 to 3 runs. And that might even be asking too much. We might only get 1. Hell, we might get shut out, you know. And it makes me nervous because we play tomorrow at noon. We're not good in the morning and afternoon. So if we're losing 5-0 now, and we lost yesterday and got our ass kicked, right? What the hell is going to happen tomorrow? Are we going to lose 8-0 or 10-0 or 12-0? So it'll be an early stream tomorrow for the Mariners. .12:07 start. But it's my guy, Logan Gilbert, and we're going against Kikuchi. So I'm kind of excited about the matchup. And, you know, Logan might be our best pitcher. So, you know, even though it's at 12:07, not ideal of a time, but that'll be the stream. So that'll be a little bit earlier for you, Matt, since you're in Hawaii. That'll be at like 9 a.m. So if you want to, you know, work out, you know, and depending on what you got going on, you know, if you want to just take the day off, you know, if it's too early for you, you know, or if you want to hop in after your workout or before your workout, or hop in for a little bit and then work out and then I can handle the rest, just let me know. But I'm always going to try to cater to, you know, people's time zones and schedules, you know, because if I do a game at noon, that's fine for me. But, you know, 9 a.m. for someone else is early. So if you want the day off tomorrow, you can have the day off. If you want to come through for a little bit, if you wake up and you got time to do it, you know, but essentially it'll be from 9 to 11:30 your time. So obviously you're going to be waking up, breakfast, working out and whatnot. So, and you know, I don't really know what we're going to get with likes and subs and views and donos at a noon start. It might be a little light. but I'm always going to try to work with the people that are a part of this channel. At 6 a.m. Is that what time it would be where you're at? Well, Matt told me it's a 3-hour difference from Oregon and Hawaii time. So if it's 12 here, then it'll be 9 a.m. there. I would assume, unless things have changed. And then obviously Midwest would be 2 hours ahead, and then East Coast would be 3 hours ahead. I won't even guess your time zone. I know we've talked about it as well. What time is it now at your location, Megan? Is it Wednesday in Australia? So it's Tuesday, 6 p.m. here. Is it Wednesday there now? 16 hours ahead. 11 a.m. Wednesday. Bottom of the 6th, we got George Springer. Get him out. There we go. Double play. Got him. We've actually gotten a couple double plays, and there was a double play for the Mariners and a double play for the Blue Jays. But the problem is I think we had back-to-back innings with double plays against us, which hurts the momentum. End of the 6th inning. We're going to the top of the 7th, and you know what? We're only down 5. So you're saying we have a chance. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K, DH Mitch Garver. Bring back Mike Ford. It's like we might have to put Mitch Garver on the bench. Like, I get it. You were on the Rangers and you won a World Series, but you're not bringing over that Texas Ranger energy to the Mariners. You've been a disappointment. We need to find someone else at DH. Call up Harry Ford. I don't care if he's young. I don't care if he's in single A, high A, double A, triple A. Bring up other players. Give them a shot, because what we got right now ain't working. Sorry, Garv. You might have to go to the bench if you don't start turning it around real quick. Especially if you're only DHing. We got to find the right guy. We thought it was bad with Colton Wong. That was the Wong move, right? And La Stella. But, Garv is almost right there. You got a World Series ring, but we're not seeing World Series performance in return. Why did we pay the money for you if you're not going to hit? Come on, Mitch. Be like the other Mitch. This one's doing good. We only have to worry about him getting hurt. You, on the other hand, we need you to step up. Come on, man. We don't want to make this a mistake. Come on. 0 for 2 with a K. Mitch Garver. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K. Common theme. Big dumper, catcher, Cal Raleigh. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a base on ball. Left fielder, Dominic Canzone. Come on, Dirty Dom. Five runs, 10 hits for Toronto. 0 runs, 3 hits for the Mariners. Is that good? Come on, Seattle. Please. Bassett is still in the game. And to show how terrible we are, right, so far, 0-2. He has an ERA of almost 8, and he's got 7 Ks against us. I would say that's a tall tale sign that we're struggling. When you got a pitcher that is absolutely terrible playing great against us. Popped up, 1 away. Mitch Garver to the bench. I like this photo a lot, but man, oh man, Miach. The lineup is only big enough for one Miach, and it's not you. It's this one. This one stays. You might have to go to the bench, my guy. Next up, Cal Raleigh. Come on, big dumper. You hit your first home run of the season. Can you please hit another one? Please. Yeah, they'll show up. I mean, obviously, when we do like Chiefs games and, every once in a while, they'll show up on different things, wrestling streams, baseball, basketball, football. They're out there. There's a lot of people that listen to that music. Big swing and a miss, 0-2 count. Oh, boy's at 105 pitches against the Mariners. Got his ERA down from 7 to 4. Golly. 0-2 pitch. Raleigh. I mean, everyone's got their preferences. The way that you feel about, Taylor Swift, I feel about Ozzy, So there's going to be, certain people that, Trey and Snoop and Pac and Biggie and Bone and I like E40 and it just depends on my mood, on what I like. Sometimes I'll be in a Green Day mood or a Beatles mood or Red Hot Chili Pepper mood or an Ozzy mood or a Tech Nine mood. Or maybe it's Travis Scott or Future one day, and it kind of just, depends. Or maybe Pharrell, maybe Outkast. I like originality, so. Yep. We all have our favorites. Top of the 7th, 2 outs, 1-0 count to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Dirty Dom. I need this kind of swag. Let's go. Pitches outside, 2-0 count. And we haven't been very good drawing walks or getting hit by pitches this year either. And that has been a big problem. When you don't get, cheap walks and you don't, oh, baby, let's go. Dom. Yeah. You ask and you shall receive. Yes. There we go, Dom. Yeah, baby. You talk about the swag, you get the swag. Yeah, baby. Dirty Dom with a jack. 5-1 Blue Jays. Nice job, Dom. Yay! There we go. Oh, there we go. Yes, sir. The moose is out. The moose is loose. Yes. Far and few between. Thank you, Sports Gods. Thank you. I mean, it would have been great if it was a 2-run jack or a 3-run jack or a grand slam, but hell, beggars can't be choosers, right? We have to take what we can get. I don't think I've ever been so excited for just something so minimal in my life, but here we are. Next up, Josh Rojas. Come on, Josh. Let's go, baby. Takes a strike. 1-2 count. Come on, baby. Come on, Josh. I believe. Let's go. Pitches outside. 2-2 count. But, being more patient in the box, is huge. But also, we have to find a way to draw walks, But again, that comes with intelligence over the years and being able to know who you're going up against. And everyone, is always so trigger happy and so wanting to swing at everything. Where's the Ichiros and the Tony Gwynns and, those type of guys? We need guys like that to be able to show how it is to be patient in the box. Hell, George Springer had fucking 8 foul balls in a row and then still got on base. We need guys like that. Guys that can fight off the pitches. Haven't had anybody fight off pitches all year so far, and we're at game 12. Rojas! Drop! Yes! There we go! Put Rojas in the leadoff spot. What am I telling you? I'm telling you, man. You look at the stats, you look at the analytics. France and Rojas are the best players, batting average-wise. He continues to step up and bat over 300. Was over 400 at one point. Make the move. I like JP and Julio, but if you're not playing well, I'm sorry. You have to get moved in the lineup. 344 average for France, 375 for Rojas. Let's go. Focus in the building. What's good? How are you? I appreciate you and all the support that you gave us yesterday. I ended up going to Petco, and I thought about you, and I got her a couple bones, got her a couple ropes, got some fruits, so strawberries, blueberry, raspberries, trying to make sure that treated her well. I had to take her to the vet a few days back, and it was an expensive bill that I didn't really have enough money for, so tried to get that situated too. So I appreciate you very much, and good timing. Right now we're starting to get on a little bit of a run, and I appreciate all the support. Anytime we can get somebody to come in new and then to be able to support in a matter like that, there's a lot of heart and a lot of generosity, and we really do appreciate you to the fullest. Yes, we've already went on 2 walks. It's been extremely hot. Like I said, it just felt good. Nothing makes me happier as a dog father, since I don't have kids of my own, is seeing, just like a parent seeing their kid smile and be happy, whether they have a son or a daughter. The same thing goes is if you got a cat or you got a dog and it's a big part of your life. And then especially if you don't have kids, so then it ends up being kind of like your kids, right? And Paisley's my daughter, is like, I'm the dog father, and nothing makes me happier than seeing her smile and then being able to roll the windows down when we go to the store, and I let her stick her head out the window so she can get the air in her nose and she can breathe it in. Little subtle pieces of happiness. You have to recognize that. If you've got a vehicle and you don't let the windows roll down for the dog to be able to get that air a little bit, they're missing out. They only can get that sensation that way. There's no other way to recreate that sensation of them being in a car other than like being in a boat, And unfortunately at this time, I don't have a boat. But it's like, being able to recognize cues, with your kids or with your, with your cats or with your dogs or your pets, you know what they like and what they don't like, and you try to understand them the best way that you can and communicate with them. So you made her day great, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. 5-1 Blue Jays, top of the 7th. JP Crawford foul. And I was telling Reflect and a few of my Mariner, line drive to him. Great. Damn it. 5-1, Rojas is stranded. But Rojas and France are the 2 best in batting average. So I was saying we should put Rojas in the leadoff role. Slide JP down, slide Julio down, slide Polanco down. You got Ty France in the 4 hole when he was in the 8 hole, and he's been good. So if you got 2 guys that are above 300, you need those 2 guys in the first 4 spots in the lineup. Rojas in the 1, maybe Julio in the 2, drop down Polanco, and then like I said, you got to be able to figure out, you got France in the 4 hole, maybe move him to the 3, Haniger at the 4. You just need to be able to move it around. But ultimately, when you got 3 guys in the starting lineup in the first 3 spots, right? And they're batting 130, 196, and 190, let alone the goal is to bat over 300. None of them are batting 200. And 200 is terrible. And you're not even doing 200. You're putting up Colton Wong numbers in the 1, 2, 3. So if you got a guy that's batting 375, no disrespect to JP, but slide him down 1 spot or more, right? Rojas in the 1, JP in the 2, Julio in the 3. Polanco, slide him down to like the 8 hole. Why do we have to keep those guys there? I mean, if we're going to have Crawford, Rodriguez, Polanco, 1, 2, 3 the whole year, we're going to win like 70 games. It's going to be a long year. So hopefully, if he's willing to make the change for France to go from 8 to 4, 8 hole to 4 hole, why can't we move the first 3 guys? I mean, are we that stupid as an organization? Are we that stubborn? I don't know. I'm going to have to get one too. Dog fascia. We are the best dog fascias. I was telling my mom too, because my mom is up there in age. My mom is 80 plus, and I'm an only child. But I was talking to her about you and about the support, and and also with the WrestleMania stream, we had another individual that stepped up for us as well with a large dono for a first-time watcher, at least on the streams, and about taking your pup to the park. explaining that concept and whatnot. I was, haven't got a chance to take Paisley up there, but it would be cool to do so if I ever, had enough money to do something like that. Yeah, Haniger at cleanup. Like I said, you can move France to the 3 or the 5 hole, but maybe like Rojas 1, and then maybe Julio 2. And then maybe France 3, Haniger 4, and maybe Garver needs to get benched. He's batting under 200 also, 161. Raleigh's under 200 also, 188. Maybe bring up Harry Ford, and give him a shot, and Garver to the bench. If he's only DHing, you're not cutting it. Bring back Mike Ford. Why the hell did we get rid of him? Why did we overpay for Garv? Just because he won a World Series on the Rangers? This is a disappointment. Polanco was supposed to be the main free agent. He hasn't been good. And he's making errors now defensively, so I'm very concerned. I'm still going to be positive Pete. I'm not going to be negative Nancy, but we have to point out the obvious. But we need to figure out how to get better hitters in the 1, 2, 3 hole, because if you're going to have 3 guys batting under 200, how long is that going to last? Pitching isn't good. Hitting isn't good. Defense isn't good. Bullpen isn't good. Rojas has pitched 2 games in the first 10. Rojas is the MVP of the Mariners. We need to be better. Haniger at cleanup. France to the 3 or the 5 hole. And then maybe move Cal up in the order. And maybe he can feed off that energy being right next to Ty. Maybe put Cal at the 5 or 6 spot. Just move things around. Move Polanco down to the 8 hole. JP to the 7. I know that's going to be a slap in the face to be like the leadoff guy. But if Rojas is actually a similar size guy and he's locked in and you're not, earn the right to be the leadoff hitter again. You don't have the right to be Ichiro where you're going to be there, and Ichiro would never be this bad. So you're never going to see Ichiro batting 150. Bad night for Ichiro. He's batting like 290. I remember watching Ichiro when he first came in, and I never seen anything like that. It's like he comes in like 2001, and in 5 games, he hits 4 for 5, 5 for 5, 4 for 6, 5 for 6, and 3 for 5. You just don't see players play like that anymore. He was putting up stats that were like video game on easy mode. I hope we find a player like that again. But that was the pinnacle of a leadoff hitter. Harry Ford, bring him up. We need a great defensive catcher. I'm sorry, but Cal's not it. You got the power hitting, but it takes a while for you to get going. And you might be one of the best catchers, top 10. You might be one of the best power hitters that can hit 30 to 40 homers, but you're one of the worst defensively. Until I see improvement, it's like I can't even count on him throwing anybody out at second base when they try to steal. That hurts me. It's like Mortal Kombat, and it's like Kano ripping my heart out. I need to be able to see these guys get better. I'm down. Oh, yeah. You know it. Strike 3 to Bichette. They never got rid of him. Now, if we had this on the team right now, right, what would our record be? This is the type of excitement that the Mariner fans have been missing. If we had this, right, what would our record be? Much better than it is now. That's my boy Tom, baby. Yeah, I saw some highlights of him in Japan. Yeah, he could be 50, 60 years old, 70 years old, and he could still hit, still throw. He's just a fucking legend. You got to think he was pro in Japan for 7 or 8 years, winning batting titles left and right. By the time that he came to, the United States in Seattle, he was already a pro for 8 or 9 years. Imagine if he would have came over earlier, he'd be the number 1 hitter over Pete Rose and everyone of all time. If you look at the numbers as far as all-time hitters, and you can't really combine the Japanese numbers and the American numbers, but if you were to, he'd be right there with Pete Rose. 5-1 Toronto. We're in the bottom of the seventh, 2-2 count, 2 outs. Paisley Pup is happy. And I'm glad we've gained another member of the Fanatic family. I miss the old school days, and all the different players, Chris Bossio, Freddie Garcia, guys that you kind of like, Macklemore, like you have these certain players, Adam Jones, it's like, it seems like anytime we have a player, then they leave, they do better after they leave us, like Adam Jones, like, oh, he's not that good. I'm like, yes, he is. And he's not good. Yes, he is. Then he goes to the Orioles and turns into an all-star. It's like, but again, would he have been able to develop that way with us? No. But, going to a new scenery, different role, better opportunity for him. And it just hurts that it happens to us over and over again. And then this year, Kelenic, Eugenio Suarez, and Teoscar, they went to 3 amazing teams, but all of them are raking. Kelenic is great on the Braves. Teoscar's doing great for the Dodgers. Eugenio Suarez is doing great for the Diamondbacks, even though their record is similar to the Mariners, but he's playing well. Can we get players that just play good for us and they stay here, not like just leave, A pay cut. Kawasaki. Sasuke. But Paisley was very, very happy. We're going to go on another walk here later tonight. But I appreciate your focus very much. And then I'm going to be doing the stream tomorrow at noon. Makes me nervous. I mean, I got Logan Gilbert on the mound, so that makes me happy. But again, last time we played at an afternoon game, we lost 8-0 to the Guardians, and Kirby played like shit. So I don't know how they're going to transition from this to noon tomorrow, but I hope we don't get swept. Now we're on our 4th pitcher. Kirby, Thornton, both Stanek. And we just hit a pitcher. And the sad thing is Bassett went 115 pitches, which is nuts. 8 Ks, right? 5 hits, 1 earned run, and 3 walks. But the guy was 0-2 with like a 7.71 ERA, and we could only get 1 hit off of him, and then we got 2 more, like in the 5th, 6th inning. That's when you're struggling, when a guy is 0-2 and got a 7.71 ERA, and he looks like he's a 2-0 pitcher with a 1.99 ERA. My goodness. All right, no problem. I'll probably tune in on to that as well. Go Kraken. Defend the deep and release the Kraken, baby. We need a lot of Kraken streams this year too. We'll continue to do a lot of that. We'll do a lot of Kraken, a lot of Mariners, a lot of NFL, with all the teams, a lot of college football, not just the Ducks. We'll do a lot, sprinkled in a lot of Huskies, a lot of Trojans. Sometimes we'll squeeze in maybe some Michigan or Ohio State, but I'm very excited about football season, the NFL draft, but we got to get this Mariner team going. Come on now. Let's go. Could be worse. We could be down 5-0. Got to look at the bright side in everything in life. Interesting. We're like added depth. Yeah, they're Kraken got eliminated from the playoffs, so they're not in it this year. But I like, obviously when I'm waiting for baseball to get started, and since I stream almost every day, after NFL and college football are done, it really only leaves me with 2 choices: NHL games, Kraken and all the good teams, or whoever I want to do, or the NBA. And I feel like the NBA is fun to go to the games when you're there live, but streaming them it's terrible. It's really hard to watch. I feel like the NBA used to be my favorite as a kid, but I refuse to watch. It's just not really fun for me. Now, like once we get to the playoffs, when it means more, it'll be a little bit more exciting, but I don't know. I just feel like NHL to me, and baseball, MLB, NHL, MLB, and NASCAR are more exciting to me than the NBA and for like college hoops, besides March Madness. So now, will we do an occasional NBA or college basketball stream? Yeah, but if I had a choice between doing MLB, NHL, NASCAR, or NBA, I'm definitely going to go with the other three before the NBA. So the Sonics, yep. I think a lot of people are in that same boat. And then people here in Oregon that are Blazer fans, I mean, they're at an all-time low right now because Dame is gone. Everyone gets hurt. The team sucks. We missed out on Wemby. Everyone gets injured. And then you can't even watch the team on local TV on KGW Channel 8. It's either, it was there originally. Then you had to pay money for Blazer cable. And then they put them on Root Sports. But a lot of people don't have Root. And so, I got another pitcher. Another hitter got hit by a pitch here. Uh-oh. Now the fans are going. Oh, you're not. But if you gotta go walk and get some exercise, it's all good. I appreciate you. And then I'll see you, if I don't see you tomorrow, early stream, 12 o'clock. You'll probably be busy, but I will be, grinding it out throughout the week. Now, hopefully, at some point the Blazers sell the team, just like the Mariners. Hopefully they sell it to someone that actually wants these teams to win. Bottom of the 7th, Blue Jays 5, Mariners 1 with bases loaded. Seems like they're pacing now for almost 10. It's all good. If Megan wants to, watch the Kraken pregame show and go there, it's all good. Being a fan of the Mariners, I mean, it's going to be a lot of ups and downs, Is it root for John? Well, hopefully the Sonics will end up getting one of the expansion teams. If they end up doing like Nashville and Seattle or Vegas and Seattle, however they go about it. But I'll still stay positive. Someone's got to be on social media. Bottom of the 7th, 5-1 Blue Jays. Come on, baby. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Getting the ring. Popped up. Well, at least we didn't give up a grand slam there. So again, have to be positive. Could be 9-1 right now, and it's only 5-1. And we're going to get into the meat of the lineup, and hopefully we can figure out a little rally here. Can we get the first home run of the season for this guy? No fly zone. J-Rod, 1 for 3 with a K. Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. We need you. Desperately. Come on, my guy. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a base on ball and a K. Second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Jorge. And batting third, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Let's make it 1 for 4 to keep that batting average in the 300s. First baseman, Ty France. Let's go, Ty. It's like the one guy that might be sitting at 0-3, but we still believe that he can get a base hit or a home run. Let's go. Just a couple base knocks and we can get it to 5-3. You just got to chip away. Any photos of any players or anything that you want to see, Focus? Something so we can throw up on the screen to pass the time. You got any old school Mariner players that you want to see photos of? Harold Reynolds or anyone from back in the day? Let me know, and I'll throw those up for you. Let's go, Mariners. Come on, Julio. Mariner Moose is waiting. Everybody needs to get their swagger back. Let's go. Top of the 8th, 5-1 Blue Jays. Low and outside, 1-0 count. Come on, baby. Who do you want me to throw up? You want me to throw up some Jay Buhner? Or are you talking about somebody else? Top of the 8th, 5-1 Blue Jays. Pitches high, 3-0 count. Take the walk, Julio. Pitch high in the zone. Could have been a ball 4, but called a strike. Come on, Julio. We need you to be electric, baby. Let's go. Trident's up. We can't have the hashtag Trident's up and we don't get any home runs. Big swing and a miss on that changeup. Count is full, 3-2 count. We're going to have to change our hashtag if we don't get any home runs. Come on, Julio. Top of the 8th, 5-1 Toronto. Count is full. Come on, Julio. Please. Pop foul. Let me get something to drink here for this last section of hitting. Julio fouled it back. Oh, Brett Boone? Good choice. Pitches inside. Julio with a walk. It's a miracle. Good choice with the Brett. Maybe throwing some Brett up will help us get some good juju going. Polanco, 190, 1 home run, 3 ribbies, OBP of 292. Lock in. Let's go. We need to lock into our inner Brett Boone. Come on, baby. Some of his photos are a little bit blurrier, old school, or they got like markings on them, so selection of Boone photos are a little limited, unfortunately. Come on, baby. 5-1 Blue Jays. Lock in. Lock into your inner Brett. That's a decent one. Some of them aren't going to fit the screen, and obviously ones that fit the screen are going to look better. But sometimes you just can't find that photo with that size that's going to, pull across the whole screen. So let's go. Pop foul. I like always those obscure names of guys too. Or this autograph TV guide of Boone on the cover. Strike 3 on Polanco. This is a cool item right here. We got the TV guide with the Boone Auto on it. That's super dope. Put that in a frame, hang it up on the wall. Never seen that before. Very cool. $5-2, nice. Come on, Ty. 5-1, Toronto. 344 average. Takes a strike right down the middle. 0-1 count. Come on, Ty. At first, I thought the TV guide was a Sports Illustrated until I saw that it was a TV guide, but Boone's got a nice auto on that too. But I mean, I'm pretty good with like magazines and posters and whatnot, from my childhood and then growing up, but I've never seen that before. Pretty cool. That would be something that I would definitely, if I saw it, I would definitely pick something like that up. And obviously it's going to mean a lot more to the person that got it signed rather than buying it signed, but still, cool item. Haniger down the left field line, foul. So cool, let's look at it again. The photo and the TV guide. Best by Northwest. Seattle cruises into the All-Star celebration atop the AL West. So what's on the horizon for the smooth sailing Mariners? Look at that price. What, $1.99? Look at that Boone Auto, too. Beautiful. Top of the 8th, 5-1 Toronto. Richards on the mound. 0-for-2 Haniger in the box. Pitch is outside. 1-1 count. Come on, Miach. We need you. Come on, baby. 2-1 count. Top of the 8th. 2-1 count. 2 outs. 5-1 Blue Jays. Come on, Mariners. We got to string out, a couple, innings with 3 hits together, back to back to back. Got to be able to find ways that, have these rallies happen. I want it too. It's like, ooh, TV guide. 2-2 pitch to Haniger. Pitch is low and outside. Good eye. Count is full. 3-2 count. Come on, Mitch. Haniger pops up. Go foul. Go foul. Good. Out of play. Good souvenir there for someone in the third row. Haniger foul ball. Let's go, Mitch. Someone needs to be a hero. Let's go. Three-two pitch from Richards. Haniger. Haniger, back, gone! Let's go. Let's go. We don't give up, right? We keep believing. There we go. And we said it at the beginning of the broadcast. You know, it might be time. Nice job, Mitch. Miach with the 2-run homer, baby. Yeah. Way to step up. Way to be electric, and make sure you're taking care of your mental health every single day. Be the best version of you and make sure you're doing the right things every day to win the day. Nice electricity. And now the pitcher gets pulled. Nice job, Mitch. Hell yeah. And I said early, a few innings ago, hey, we might not be able to come back and win, but if we can get at least a 3, going into tomorrow's start at noon, at least we have a little confidence. But again, we got 2 more innings to get 2 more runs. I mean, is it that crazy to think that, we can't get 1 more, possibly this inning and then try to get 1 in the 9th? Or if this is all we get this inning, that we can do something like we just did in the 9th and just try to tie it and go to extra innings, Because if we get, 2 runs now, 2 runs in the 9th, and then we go to extras, we might have momentum to win. I mean, it's not likely, but, I'm just trying to be positive here. Yeah, I don't got a cable box, here in the studio. I got one in the living room. So obviously, I can either use a streaming link, I can use it through, through the cable provider. But anytime you end up watching it that way through the TV or on the computer, sometimes there'll be a little bit of a delay, like 15 seconds, 20 seconds and whatnot. So some people that are watching it on Root, or if they're watching it on satellite or Comcast, or depending on the provider, sometimes it'll be slightly faster. It all depends on what, each person is watching it on. So when I was with the ex-girlfriend, I had a cable box in the studio where I was watching it on Root, where it would be more live. But sometimes, you got to do what you got to do. So Garver in, slaps it towards third. 0-1 count. Let's go, Miach. We had one Mitch step up. Can the other? Let's go, baby. Let's go, Garv. 0 for 3 with a K. Let's go 1 for 4. Ball and a strike. Slider away. 1-1 count. Top of the 8th. 5-3 Blue Jays. Here we go. Gotta get some of the Mariner homies to turn the TV back on. Big swing and a miss. 2-2 count. This might be the end of the Mariners this inning. Feels like the momentum is gone. Especially with Garv, he hasn't been very good, batting under 200. Not likely for him to do anything. 2-2 pitch, and there it is. Struck him out. Yeah, I got a couple different links that I end up using and whatnot. So it's like I don't know what the email password is through the account that we have for the Comcast in the living room. Otherwise, I could link up to that. But yeah, there's a few different ones that we've been using here. And anytime that someone typically needs a link for like basketball, baseball, football, hockey, or if you don't have Root Sports where you live, like we have this one guy, Lauren, who lives up in Canada, who doesn't have Root Sports, who kind of follows the Blue Jays and Mariners. And, sometimes it's just nice that as long as it works, it might be, somewhere in Europe or, but as long as it works and, you can watch, for the most part, that's going to be, what most people want. Even if it ends up being 10, 15 second delay, at least we get to watch the game, so. Everyone's got to, find ways to be able to, watch their sports and whatnot. All right, we're going to the bottom of the 8th. We at least got that 2-run jack from Haniga, which makes me a little bit happier after just getting absolutely destroyed here this whole game. Let's see who the Blue Jays have up next. And hopefully we can rally, and hopefully we can get it to 5-5 in the 9th and go to extras. And then if it ends up being 5-5 in the 9th, we will have a chance to win. Not saying that we're going to get to that point, but we can pray. We can hope. Next up, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, right fielder George Springer. Batting second, 0 for 4 with a run in the K, first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And batting third, 1 for 4 with a run, 2 RBIs in a K, shortstop Bo Bichette. They're at the heart of their order. Let's find a way, unless that ends up being wrong. Looks like they're not at that point. They're at Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. I was about to say they must have had to update that on the TV or on the ESPN app there, because I was just looking at that and I was like, didn't I already see those guys up? And it was an error. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. It shows you those guys on ESPN, because I got like 8 screens up when I'm streaming. I was like, that's not correct. Didn't I just see them? But there you go. Then they flipped it, and then they made the adjustment. Come on, ESPN. 5-3 Blue Jays. Bottom of the 8th. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, 2 for 3 with a run and RBI in the K. We got Gabe Spire on the mound. Let's go, Gabe. The former Yankee. Sinker, 4-seam fastball, sinker. Come on now. Find a way. Popped up. Bloop single. Unbelievable. Where's the defense? Come on, Mariners. Next up, 1 for 3 with a run, center fielder tonight, Dalton Varsho. Throw to first, safe. 152 average, no homers, no ribbies, with an OBP of 243, 1 for 3 with a single in the third for a run for Dalton Varsho. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 count. Let's go. Let's go. We got to keep the faith. We got to believe. 0-1 pitch for Spire. Come on, Gabe. Fouled off. 0-2 count. Let's go, Gabe. There we go. I struck out by Spire. I like it. Mariner Moose likes it. We need a rally. Let's go. Big swing and a miss from Springer. 0-1 count. Bottom of the 8th, 5-3 Blue Jays, 1 out, 0-1 count. Spire, 16 pitches in, pitch into the dirt. Good save there by Cal. 1-1 count. Let's go. Throw to first, safe. Springer 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. 1-1 pitch. Sinker outside. 2-1 count. Come on, baby. Come on, Mariners. Springer popped up to right. Haniger's there. Warning track. 2 away. Next up, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. The Gus is coming out. And how many pitchers are we going through today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unbelievable. We need help. See if I can find any other cool Brett Boone stuff while we wait. That'll give us some good juju. Some good juju in the 9th that we can get 2 runs. Boom Market, Baseball Weekly. Oh, Sports Illustrated. We got to throw that one up. Yeah, this is bringing back some memories. Magazines only costing like $1 or $2. Oh, the Sports Illustrated Shockwave. Boone, the RBI machine. Man, the good old days. All right, next up, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Let's get him out. And let's try to get 2 runs here in the 9th to go to extras. The Gus is in. Let's go. First pitch strike. Let's go. Take a strike looking. I love it. Nice sinker, 96 miles an hour. Vlad batting 200, 2 homers, 4 ribbies, an OBP of 321. We got him. There we go. Here we go. Rally time, baby. Rally time. We got to find a way and dig deep, baby. Let's go. We need this. We need to rally. 2 runs. Let's find a way. Let's see where we're at in the lineup. All right, next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. A perfect opportunity to get a home run. Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Big Dumper. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, an RBI, a base on ball. Dominic Canzone. Can you hit 2 home runs in 1 game? I hope so. And batting third, the most reliable hitter, not named Ty France. Third baseman, 2 for 3. Josh Rojas. Rojas batting 375, France 333. Move Josh Rojas in the 1 hole or the 2 hole. Let's go. Let's go, Josh. We got a chance with these 3 guys. Hopefully some of that momentum will carry over. And hopefully maybe we even get lucky in Rojas homers. Let's go. Last chance. And make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. You know, every day is a battle. Every day is a challenge. Try to be a better person than you were the day before. You know, think about others. And again, you know, if things are going bad, things can get better. You just have to have the faith, check off the boxes to make sure that you can win the day. Be the best version of you. And if you got pets, hang out with them. Makes a huge difference. Changed my life forever. 0 for 3 with a ground out and 2 strikeouts for Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Takes a strike. 0-2 count. Come on, Cal. Oh-2 pitch. Crushes it foul. Come on, baby. How many photos do you need, Cal, for a comeback? Multiple? I got you. Big dumper here, big dumper there, big dumper everywhere. Fouls it back. 0-2 count. Come on, Mariners. Lightning in a bottle, baby. Bring that electricity, Cal. 0-2 pitch to Raleigh. Good eye. 1-2 count. Pitches outside. 2-2 count. Chop towards first. 1 away. Grounded out to second. Next up, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI, and a base on ball, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. We need a hero. Pitches inside, 1-0 count. We're in the top of the ninth, 5-3 Toronto. One ball and 1 strike on Canzone. 2 balls and 1 strike on Canzone. Come on, baby. Three balls and 1 strike on Canzone. Come on, baby. Take the walk. Four-seam fastball with a strike looking. Count is full. 3-2 count. Come on, Dom. We need that electricity. Let's go. Oh, he walked him. There we go. Four-seam fastball was a ball before that, and then he had to wait 1 more pitch. There we go. I like that. Dom with a walk, giving us a chance here. It's a small chance, but we got a chance. Maybe we can get Josh Rojas to hit a home run and we can tie it up, or get an RBI here. Let's go, Josh. 2 for 3, the best hitter on the Mariners, Josh Rojas. Let's go, Josh. Haley's in running at first for Canzone. I'm not sure how smart of an idea that is, but I hope it works. Two for three for Josh so far. Doing a pretty good job at third base as well defensively. Takes a strike looking. 0-1 count. .375 average for Rojas. Come on, baby. Fight out this at-bat. Four-seam fastball. 95 miles an hour, fouled back. 0-2 count. Come on, baby. Fouled that one back as well. He's fighting him off. It's kind of, not ideal to be in an 0-2 situation. You want to be ahead of the count, not behind in the count. But Rojas has got a good eye for the baseball. I mean, he's been more locked in than any other player besides Kai France. So, yeah, he's fighting those off. Took a strike looking and fought off 3 foul balls. 4 foul balls. All four-seam fastballs on every single pitch. All about 95 miles an hour from Green. Oh, 2 pitch. Man, he is just raking them foul. Fighting them off. I mean, Springer had an at-bat where he had 8 foul balls that he fought off, and then on the 9th pitch, he got a hit. So, four-seam fastball for a ball. Come on now. Patient in the box. Almost hit him in the head on that last pitch, too. Top of the 9th, 5-3 Blue Jays. Last opportunity here for the Mariners with a runner at first. Grounded out into a double play. Oh, brutal. Great defense by the Blue Jays. And that is it. Final score, Blue Jays 5, Mariners 3. Oh, man, but at least we ended up getting to 3. I did predict that if we could get something, we probably weren't going to get to 5, but getting to 3 could possibly help us out for tomorrow. And at least we got ourselves in somewhat of a position to try to come back. But I think they had 3 double plays on us in this game, and that's very difficult to be able to come back when that happens to you. Blue Jays improve their record, and the Mariners fall back to another loss, 4-8, brutal. But we play tomorrow, last game in the set at noon against the Blue Jays. So I'm going to go take Paisley for a walk, and shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, as well as YouTube here. Shout out to Matt and Focus and everyone else. And hopefully tomorrow we can end up getting a win. And then I'll message you in the morning, Matt. And then again, it's going to be 9 a.m. for you. So again, if you want to take the day off or just show up for a little bit, and then if you have to go to your workout, but it would be from 9 to 11:30, your time in Hawaii. And then for me, it'll be 12 o'clock until 2:30. So we'll talk about it tomorrow. I want to make sure that, you got, some time to yourself as well. But again, if you can make it at 9 a.m. with me, great. But we'll communicate, tomorrow morning, and I'll post early in the morning, and hopefully we can get a Mariner win tomorrow, because these losses are tough for us Mariner fans. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. And again, I will end up being back tomorrow at noon for the rubber match, the final game in the set between the Mariners and the Blue Jays at 12 o'clock Pacific. And shout out to everyone watching on Twitter/X as well as in the room. Shout out to Focus and Matt and Reflect and Megan and everybody. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us, your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatic, and I'm out. Okay.